And we are back for another epic episode of the StarkCast. This is StarkCast Mk27. We are going to be crawling out through the fallout, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a lot of news about the Wasteland coming from the New York Wasteland. Including, but not exclusive to, a possible extension of a certain lore that has been, let's just say, taken liberties with, as well as a few secret lair super drops in Fortnite the Gathering. I mean Magic the Gathering. I am joined alongside my motley assembly of fellow pop culture pundits, and we are going to be talking about the weekly review in gaming and pop culture and some odd news and some other fun skits and routines. Joining us first is the director of his own laboratory of the same name, Director Arcater. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, quite well. Happy to be here as always. Things are going relatively smoothly here, except for everything going wrong yesterday. But everything's fine now, no needs to worry. No one's in danger, I promise.
Absolutely fine. Excellent to have you here. Joining us, the host of this network super community of all of these different sub-networks is none other than the network's own, the dignified cartoon gentleman. How are you doing today, sir?
Very well. I'm very well. Great to see everyone. I'm sure we'll have a great show. Like, share, all that fun stuff. Let's go right ahead.
Let's go right ahead. Full steam ahead. Speaking of steam, that was the subject of conversation that was happening just a podcast ago, about a half an hour ago. Here to go ahead and continue that steam engine and this train going forward is none other than podcast's own Scooby Pup, whom I may or may not be a bit of a technical monkey for. How you doing today, hon?
Hello, hon. Doing good. Hail to the chat. Yeah, that is correct. I just came back from, I just came straight here after doing my podcast where I had Slay every game. May I recommend you guys check it out? There he is in the chat. I hope to bring him back very soon.
Likewise, he's a cool cat, and he's a hell of a karaoke
he
singer, and he also knows how to play a few chords on the 88 Teeth as well. You'll have to ask him about that on a later episode. Our good friend, the son of Mars, he who knows from the Red Planet.
Absolutely, and follows the shadows of the internet so you don't have to. We're going to talk about some of those shadows today.
It's going to be a fun StarkCast. I have a good feeling about this one. Let us go ahead and welcome our motley assembly of post-apocalyptic survivors to our chat. Leading, of course, is this little thing right here. Yes, we are taking a bit of a mega chat drive, but we also have an announcement that we will go ahead and get out of the way before we get right to the thick of things. There is Marcelo Lopez Jr. first to comment. We got Steph Alice. Good to see you, Suzanne. How are you doing today? Vincent, I'm back after my old account got deleted. I wonder why I lost a couple of subs. Well, that is definitely one for the books. Welcome back, my friend. Hail to the dignified cartoon gentleman who is also on the panel with us today, AJ Starhiker. It's a pleasure. And one day we will get behind the kart racer. It's just I got to make sure my machine is capable of running it. We got Angel Dust. It's a pleasure to see you as well. Shrubby, your name is finally in the outro video. He says, finally. Good and finally. Good to have you back. Patreon has come back to promoting us all. I'm sorry that it took as long as it did.
Hope you don't mind that I told him to throw a lot of great big bricks at you.
I will throw Vox in his general vicinity so he can get his brick throwing addiction out of the way. We got Husker, the Grumpy Cat. It is a pleasure to see you as well, sir. It's a pleasure, as always, to see you guys fine. And here we got, of course, Slay from Slay Every Game. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. A pleasure. Doom Guy 161. Dun, 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 dun. And the Prince stole us. I think that is everyone. Let's just do a quick double check here. I suppose we're going to go ahead and get right to brass tacks then. All right, then. Before we get any further, yes, donations welcome. Yes. We are going to go ahead and make this quick announcement here because I feel like it is very important. Our good friend Casey Azowski has hit some financial snags. This man has supported not just myself, but he has supported Scooby, Theta of the Grid, and many, many more for well over almost 2 years, actually. So we are going to be doing a multi-platform, multi-prong, multi-angled coalition of assaults in the form of fundraisers, including the finale of the event being a very special edition of the Stark Relief Foundation right here on this channel to raise this man, even if it's just a small fraction of the money that he has helped us for as long as he's had helped us. I want to make, we need to pay him back. It's time to pay him back.
Mm-hmm.
So by all means, it is indeed time to help out a friend in need, and we will be announcing all of those events as they arrive. Scoobies will be first in the long line of telethons to help out our good friend Casey Azowski. There is, of course, our good friend Alistair. We got Sergeant Garantina, Evil Fluffy Bunny. I'm here for more Scooby's beautiful voice, and the cartoon gentleman, my good man, killing it as always with some spears. Eho.
I don't know what you mean.
I thought it was more of a crossbow, but I could be mistaken. With that, let us go ahead and get into our first bit of the news. Hollywood is beginning to do more game adaptations, so let's go ahead and get this first one off the books. I'm a bit of a horror geek, and so this makes me raise an eyebrow. All right. The Mortuary Assistant trailer video game adaptation hits theaters in February and Shudder in March. I do have a Shudder account. Anybody who has been a channel member of mine knows that what we watch during member movie night is schlocky horror. So we may be adding this one to the list because obviously I want to do a follow-up review after this very sudden announcement. It's good to see you, Emily. How you doing? Hit a horror video game, The Mortuary Assistant is about to possess the big screen with a feature film adaptation. We have the trailer below. The movie will be released in theaters nationwide on February 13th via Epic Pictures before streaming on Shudder beginning March 27th. It follows a newly certified mortician, Rebecca Owens, who accepts a night shift in a mortuary, embalming bodies alone after hours. As disturbing events escalate, Rebecca uncovers demonic rituals, dark secrets of her enigmatic mentor, and her own buried trauma, racing to survive the night before her body becomes a vessel for possession. Willa Holland from Arrow and Paul Sparks from Boardwalk Empire star with Mark Steger from Stranger Things as the Mimic. Mortuary Assistant creator Brian Clark co-wrote the script with Traby Beebe Jeremiah Kip. Say that 3 times fast. Apparently they directed Slapface. Originally released on PC in the year of our Lord 2022, The Mortuary Assistant quickly became a viral sensation and made its way to Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch. The film will expand on the game's world, delving deeper into the lore of the demonic entities plaguing River Fields. Patrick Ewald's Epic Pictures produces Via Dread alongside Cold Pains, Traverse Media, and Jacob P. Heineke, not to be confused with the Heineken. Anybody got a drink? Executive producers, including Clark, Katie Page, Ulissa Morales, Randy Sinkerfield, Patrick Fisher, and Oliver Garbeau. We're already getting the multiple producer trope that is often seen in Hollywood in this day and age. With The Mortuary Assistant, we're free to translate one of the gaming's most unnerving experiences into a relentlessly immersive feature film, says Ewald. This is an authentic adaptation grounded from the same dread, the same characters, and the same world that made the game so unforgettable. It is. If I had a choice to play The Mortuary Assistant versus, say, Five Nights, I would play Mortuary Assistant. It's very much similar to Five Nights, but it's a little bit more in your face, a little more personal, a little bit more visceral, and better jump scares. It's a good one of those, hey, I need to, keep an eye out kind of games. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a pretty fun game. Seeing The Mortuary Assistant make the leap from game to film is incredibly rewarding. Added Clark, fans of the game will finally witness the world they've explored come alive, while genre film audiences will discover a story filled with tension, dark secrets, and unforgettable scares. It is a unique crossover that bridges two communities of horror fans in a way I've always imagined. And so I think this is going to be a good one. But what do you guys think? I played that game on my channel, says Jacob the Red Wolf. It's a pleasure to see you. Very well done. It is a great game. It is a fun game. And I highly recommend it. Yay, multi-producer equals multiple funding because nobody wanted to make it. Cost possibly so. That is the big thing about having multiple producers is it's like too many chefs spoils the broth is the saying. That is my one eyebrow raiser about this. I hope that it doesn't become a disjointed mess and be too video game like where there isn't proper cinematic language being conveyed in the film, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's also good to see Tank Ferret out here today. Hopefully life is treating you well. Let's go ahead and pass around the talking stick and see what you guys' thoughts are on this announcement. What do you think, Arcater? Do you think this will be a good thing or a bad thing?
I am more optimistic for these things than I have been for a long time. After all, U-Ball has nothing to do with it, so there's a chance. As for this game, I actually raffled a copy of this off on one of my SCP reads, quite possibly to GTRW, or if not him, then someone else. And I'm thinking in hindsight, I should have kept it. Oh well. I think this could be quite good. I'll have to wait and see, I suppose, assuming I get around to it. It always seemed like it had a lot more care into it than a lot of other properties. And it always shows when people love what they're doing.
Right. They seem very passionate with this one. I honestly feel like they're going to do this one a fair bit of justice. But again, when it comes to horror adaptations in general, we also have the other side of the coin with public domain properties such as Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh, which we have been making fun of on recent member movie nights in our server. And do consider becoming a channel member for the starting price as low as $2.99. Because it seems that our good friend Tank Ferret had to pause his. He says, I need to make a few more bucks. Dude, that is perfectly fine, dude. You being here is more than enough. You've supported this channel as long as just about everyone else that has supported it. So and there is no harm, no foul, my friend. But if you guys want to... Yeah.
To budget shortfalls.
Please let Scooby Pup know I meant no malicious intent the last time I attended the show. As long as it's everybody is nice and polite. I do have rules set up on my chat now. Let's keep the chat relatively pleasant and terms of service friendly if we can. Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, how do you feel about this announcement? Are you going to see this? Are you interested? Let us know.
Oh, hopefully Epic Pictures has nothing to do with Epic Games. Otherwise, we know where this is going to end up. Second of all, right, whenever I think of horror adaptation from game to film, the only thing I can think of is Resident Evil. And that doesn't fill me with a lot of optimism. Now, hopefully that doesn't manifest into this particular project. Having a lot of producers is indicative of a project struggling to get funds, which can be as much a good thing as it is a bad thing in this day and age with the state of the industry. I think it has the potential to succeed. Of course, we need to have a wait and see approach. But if it is taking heavy inspiration from the game, it stands a lot more of a chance of succeeding than, say, the Resident Evil films did. But hey, they made a bunch of those, right? They were all horrible, but they made a bunch of them. So who knows in this day and age? Ultimately, if people enjoy the film, it will be profitable. And if it is profitable, more of them will be made.
Absolutely. If you do your movie right, then the people are going to do right by you and support it with their wallet, which is the way it should be. Good to see Omega Supreme in the chat. He says he's going in for a test Monday. Always fun. Our prayers go with you, my friend. It's good to see our good friend Daxonar, the keeper of the feet.
Furry feet.
The toe beans hath arrived. So yeah, Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil is not horror. Resident Evil is essentially
Thriller.
thriller
Mhm.
and action. It's more
Mhm.
action, especially as you get into the later ends of it, and she becomes a super soldier. Good to see you. Blue Collar Loser says, hope you have a good stream. Tony, phone went off as I am on bathroom break watching Two Towers with my kid. Movie's a masterpiece. Much love. Thank you for leaving the like and love, my friend. God bless you. We'll be hanging out. I want to hang out with you guys over there on Tales from the Dark Side. I know I've missed about a month and a half's worth of Dark Side. I should be very ashamed of that, but I do want to hang out with you Darksiders again very, very soon. You can always also catch me just about every Wednesday with Zach's now too. I'm quickly becoming a regular there on What's Good Wednesday. We just recently wrapped up Cinema Clash, which was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do the next two eras. And Emily, I'm doing quite well. The Son of Mars. What do you have any thoughts about this film? Do you think it will win? Do you think it will lose? Do you think we'll lose patience?
It's a crapshoot. The fact that nobody on the panel up to this moment has mentioned Silent Hill is telling. The fact that there's a return to Silent Hill a movie coming out this year, okay, and no one's talking about it is also telling. If anybody remembers the Silent Hill movie, that was a letdown.
No, okay.
Talk about popping a balloon and popping other things. All right. So I don't really have high expectations out of this thing. I mean, you've got a pretty decent cast behind this. Okay. I mean, not the likes of what you had in Silent Hill, where you had like Sean Bean and other folks. But let's be honest. This guy from Boardwalk Empire, he was a very memorable character in that show. Okay. If anybody watched Arrow, Willa, she was a memorable character. So the potential is there, as you said. I'm just not sure about the people heading this thing.
That is true.
I'm just because don't leave it to Hollywood to take a good thing and there you go.
There was more than one Silent Hill film, and the
Yeah.
The problem with the Silent Hill films is that, again, they tried to make it a little bit more action-packed, not as suspenseful. All right, when you played Silent Hill, at least when I played Silent Hill initially, I was in a podunk little town, and it was foggy and it was quiet. The biggest thing about Silent Hill is it was deathly quiet until it wasn't, and when it wasn't, it was terrifying.
Exactly, the mood setting. Okay, how are you going to evoke the same kind of mood in a movie that you get in a video game? Because in the video game, it's just Tony in the town. Okay, Tony the town in the fog.
Right.
Well, in this case, it would be Tony then the mortuary. Well, how are you going to convey that? That's what I'm curious about.
Very difficult thing, and I mean, we also, since this game is one of those I got to watch my back kind of games, kind of like Five Nights. That's also going to be the biggest challenge, because Five Nights is all about reaction speed. And, you being able to control, your reaction speed when you get jump scared, when you see crap. Because it's all about closing this door, opening this door, this kind of reaction, that kind of reaction. And then they turn around and, obviously now they got to make like this overarching plot, explore the story as to why the pizza animatronics are possessed, what really went on. So it is a challenge. It is a big challenge to set somebody who's sitting in the dark playing a game, farming jump scares, just, to remind themselves that they're alive, onto the big screen. I get what you're saying, and it is a valid point. But let's see what some of the other people in the chat are saying. We actually did get a member chat, so we will go ahead and play a super chat bumper for that.
Let's see if we have any super chats in the picture show.
All right, there's some noise going on. Let's see here. Who is that coming from? Identifying. There we go. All right, so let's see. We got a member chat here from our good friend, Omega Supreme, who's been a channel member for 4 months. Thank you for supporting the channel, my friend. He says, I think the rating for Silent Hill went silent. Yes, the Silent Hill was one of those. It's just like followed the Resident Evil issues. That was the biggest problem with the Silent Hill films, is they tried to make it, actiony, and you got all of like the tells of the jump scares and this, that, and the other. And it's you can't recreate it, but we'll see. I have hope for this film for one reason and one reason only. It's because the lore for it is very rich. And if they could do it with something as silly as Five Nights and it be not a good film, but a halfway decent film, they could probably at least hit that bar with this one. So we'll see here in about a month. And then for those of us on Member Movie Night, 2 months. Shrubby says, this is just the next face of Hollywood stupidity. Random jump scare puppet movie did so well. More video game movies. Well, I think Minecraft set the bar for the current generation's choice of video game adaptation. The last really good video game movie that dropped was the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was pretty picture perfect from beginning to end. Good to see you, Gap After Dark. How you doing? But good to see you there, Lucifer. That's a pleasure to see you, my friend. Hopefully life is treating you well. Yeah, Minecraft was successful for different reasons than Mario was successful. Mario was successful because there was a return to form, rehash, cinema only with Easter eggs from the games. Minecraft is one giant Zoomer meme from beginning to end, okay? And both have their appeals for their target audiences. It is a form of marketing. If you're going to be able to target a bunch of Zoomer memes and with Jack Black, that Minecraft made over $1 billion worldwide. It wasn't successful with our audience, but it was successful with the people that were bringing their kids in. Their kids wanted to see it again and again.
Exactly. The budget wasn't $500 million for Minecraft. I can tell you that. Okay.
No, it hit well above the green. Unfortunately, it hit well above the green. It was successful in its own right. Mario was very successful for the right reasons. Minecraft was successful for other reasons. But
let's put it this way, Stark. Minecraft was the Starfield of movies, right? Very financially successful, but not a good product.
Right. That pretty much sums up Minecraft in a nutshell. Any final thoughts on this one before we go forward? I'll check.
I never got anything to say.
Oh, I am so sorry. Did I skip you? I am so sorry, sweetheart.
Yes, you did.
I am all over the place today. I'm still waking up. My apologies. You can bonk me on the head later.
Well,
Scooby, what are your thoughts on this?
Personally, I have not played the Mortuary Assistant. But I can say, first off, for the first Silent Hill movie, it was a horror thriller. It was not action in any way, shape, or form. I saw that movie like 3 times. Now, the others, I can say they were more along the thriller end. The Resident Evil movies, they were good, but they were more action thriller. As far as those movies go, it's viewer numbers that count. They don't care about quality. They are looking at, with the amount of people that are working on this, it won't look. I don't have high expectations for it, but it's the amount of. But what they're looking for is the amount of of viewers. They really probably will not care about they won't care about the lore focused audience, because let's face it, many of the video game movies that have come out, they don't focus on the lore or the content. I mean, look at the most recent remake of Mortal Kombat. Okay, it's not a horror film or anything, but it was not focused on the lore. I mean, Uncharted, it was its hit or miss. I mean, it depended on the Uncharted game. It was a mix of all of them into one, which was, in my opinion, very stupid, and it missed out on a lot of lore. So if you're missing out on a lot of game, but people haven't played the game in the first place, it doesn't matter. They're just going for the viewer numbers. They know that horror is a popular trope. So they're looking for the horror viewers. And normally when a horror movie comes out, people jump into it and say, yay, horror, please let this be good. And they go and watch it anyways. I do believe they'll get the numbers that they want. I've played all the Silent Hill. Well, I haven't played all the Silent Hill games. I played Silent Hill F, but I have read the recent interview from the creator of Silent Hill. And he said, it's not the town, but it's the concept that makes it Silent Hill. It's the mentality. It's not the town, but the fact that everybody's going through mental problems at the moment. He said, that is what makes it Silent Hill, is the fear that they are going through mentality-wise.
The fear factor, right.
It's the mental factor. So so he said that's why the game can take place anywhere in the world, doesn't matter where, at any point in time. It can still follow the name of Silent Hill because it's all about the mentality and not the town. Which personally I think is I'm good. He kind of cleared that up because it makes Silent Hill F a little bit better than it was. I have high hopes for this movie. I really do. Like I said, I've never played the game.
I have to show you. It's a good one. I think.
Yeah, like I said, I've never played the game, but when you have a really good horror game and then they decide to make a movie out of it, it's usually not a good result, especially when you make a movie that has more than one person working on it, like more than one producer, more than one writer. We've all seen that, what happens. Simple. Star Wars, the new Star Wars trilogy, okay? They had more than one writer for that fucking script. I am so fucking sorry, but that was a disaster.
2 different directors, too.
2 different directors, exactly. When you get that kind of stuff like that, accidents and big accidents will happen. Now, this is in no way Star Wars, but this is a common problem when it comes to movies that go that route. I wish them the best with this movie. I really do. But when you have that formula, you're risking a lot.
Too many chefs spoil the broth.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking too.
But yeah.
And the first Silent Hill, the first, I got to say, the one part of Silent Hill that I really liked for the first Silent Hill movie, it left you on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's true.
And little Anna, her skin gets ripped off. I'm happy about that. And they did a good job with the pyramid heads and the nurses.
The creature design was the only thing that movie did right, in my opinion. The creature designs, but that's because they have to. That's really what it boils down to. If you take liberties with the creature design, when you're targeting a fan base of a certain IP with your film, if you screw that up, you lose. I mean, look at Super Mario Brothers from '93. How they literally
I'd rather
replace the Goombas with, big guys. And, I mean, I love Dennis Hopper, but I honestly feel like that ruined his career. I think
that was a horrible movie, but at the same time,
ruined his career. I think. I mean, he had speed locked down. He was good in speed, but
Well, there's reason for that. And
that was such a horrible movie, but at the same time, it's a cult classic.
Mm-hmm. It is a cult classic.
yes, a museum piece. Like many of the video games to movies of the time, especially Bull's entire range of things that I'm pretty sure he just made in the hopes that he would cause a nerd to cry somewhere.
I mean, if it wasn't for that movie, we wouldn't get the dinosaur dance.
It's very true. Well, we'll wrap this thought up with this. The difference between a lot of these directors that make bad film game adaptations and Uwe Ball is Uwe Ball at one point boxed his critics. Like, he actually challenged a couple of like popular YouTubers at the time to join him in the boxing ring, and he fought these people. And he whooped their ass. And I'm like, yeah, say what you will about Uwe Ball. He's a shit director, but the man can throw a right hook like the best of them. I wouldn't want to mess with him. Hail to Kellet in the chat and Outpost Nerd. Good to see you guys. Kellet is chiming in with Silent Hill F was annoying feminist garbo for my brother's wife who loves those games.
I do not see how it's feminist in the slightest bit. I played it, and I saw nothing feminist about it. I really didn't.
I didn't know what that movie was. Mario 93. It was probably a cult classic for the wrong reasons. It is. It's one of those. It's so bad it's good cult classics. Kind of like
It's a
Troll
rated
2
B movie
and,
that is. Yeah, it's a rated B movie. Rated B for bad, but so bad it's good.
Good. If your response to criticism is to fight, I mean, he is a moronic cat, but at the end of the day, I don't want to go into the boxing ring with him, so I'm not going to do more about talking shit than the general amount of talking shit about him.
It wasn't very good.
Say what you will about Uwe Ball, but I'm not joining him in a ring.
Hey,
Then
I'm
he
sorry,
should
but
stop being a director and stop being a boxer. How about that?
yeah. Maybe you missed your calling there, buddy.
Maybe you should just go to
You know
boxing.
what, Tony?
Yeah.
Tony, if you don't want to step in the ring with him, have Slay Every Game make a boxing match of you versus him.
If we could
Or Dan.
If we
There you
could
go.
make an Uwe Ball character for everybody to fight, obviously you would also have to like
That'd be
stat.
popular.
You would have to stat the fighter to actually be a competent fighter. You couldn't make him like a loser.
Well, as fun as that sounds, I think there's probably several characters way ahead that would want to go into that ring, or at least that people would pay to see go into that ring. Among them is a certain person who supposedly retired this week, but we're not going there.
Well, of course, that was the whole point of this first article, Emily, is the Mortuary Assistant is a game that I've played and thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh, Tony, that reminds me.
Yes.
You
Yes.
might want to add this to your schlocky, scary movie. Betty Boop is getting her own slaughter.
I saw that. I
God.
saw that. We're gonna have to add that to member movie night for sure. Outpost
and it
Nerd.
hasn't come out. It hasn't come out yet, but I was like, oh
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
watching
A
it.
Betty Boop horror film.
That.
Yeah, she's a serial killer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith called out YouTubers calling him out about He-Man after the show premiered, and the YouTubers are right, even though Smith called them liars. Yeah. Well, Smith isn't going to Smith's response to criticism is crying and peeing. Uwe Ball's response to criticism is making his critics go into fits of crying and peeing after beating them senseless. But that's all we got time today for this article. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up in a nice, neat bow and get to our next topic, a little bit more of that Hollywood news. We're actually going to get into the Fallout topics now, ladies and gentlemen. There's a bit of a viewership problem, despite the fact that Fallout is... there's problems with it. But I do have an argument. It's not a strong argument by any means, but it is an argument that, definitely merits being said. And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Here's some more Hollywood news. Fallout Season 2 viewership numbers are way down, but there is an obvious reason why. Season 2 viewership is nowhere close to Season 1 in its first week, but it is hardly a surprise. The newest Nielsen ratings have arrived, showing a gigantic drop-off for Fallout Season 2 compared to Season 1. However, there is an obvious explanation for the dip. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Fallout viewership reached 794 million minutes on Prime Video for the week of December 15th through the 21st, which covers when Season 2 debuted on December 16th. Season 1 racked up 2.9 billion minutes of streaming time during its own opening week in April 2024. That is a 72% decrease, but a massive downturn was no doubt attributable to how the two seasons were released. Season 1, many will recall, was released in a binge format with all the episodes arriving at the same time. Season 2, meanwhile, is adopting the weekly release schedule. What's more, just one episode of Fallout Season 2 was released on December 16th, compared to 2 or 3 that Prime Video does for some of its other shows. Given all this, it only makes sense that Fallout Season 1 would have a significantly higher viewership statistics compared to Season 2. According to the Nielsen data, which combines multiple seasons into its ranking reports, 54% of Fallout streaming minutes on Prime Video for the December 15th through 21st week were from Season 2, making up about 429 million minutes. The rest came from the viewership of Season 1. Fallout Season 2 has just recently aired its 5th episode, with 3 more to come out each Wednesday until Season 2 wraps on February 4th. A 3rd season will follow sometime later and could start filming sooner than expected. For more, obviously, blah, 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 blah. Here's my thoughts on this. We have become a binge-watching society, and there's a lot of people, and I know that Digny is one of them, that would prefer to watch a show when it's out completely. And that you know, I mean, that's a way to do this. I, on the other hand, like to watch things episodically. I guess that might be, old school of me, but apparently there's fewer and fewer of us left that's doing that. There's a lot of controversy behind Fallout as well, especially with the liberties it takes with the lore, the destruction of Shady Sands, Vault-Tec responsible for the nukes, etc., etc. And to be quite frank, there is no Fallout game that doesn't contradict its own lore with a subsequent release. There's always going to be some lore break. I mean, look at what Fallout 3 did. Look what Fallout Tactics isn't even, not Tactics, but Fallout Brotherhood of Steel isn't even canon. They decanonized it. There's this whole Fallout Bible that is, an advisory guide to canon releases. Fallout has changed so many hands that you have to really ask yourself, what is canon anymore? The whole point is aesthetically, I like it. Obviously, it's very pretty. This series takes Fallout and puts it on the small screen with actual actors, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The second thing is that is no more exemplified with Mr. House. Now, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Mr. House would never flip out like that. He's calm and cold and calculating. Well, obviously, all you did was play the House Always Wins quest on your New Vegas. Mm-hmm. If you tell Mr. House no when he says, give me the chip, what does he do? He flips the fuck out. He said, no, that is my property. I've spent 2 centuries trying to get it. Now be a good little courier and deliver the package. He literally crashes out like he did at Cooper at the end. House is only so calm and controlling when he knows he's in control. Mm-hmm. As soon as his little equation gets a pop in the bubble, he freaks out. Like when you kill if say for example you kill President Kimball, you assassinate President Kimball, and you go back, you talk to House, and House is like, "What the hell did you do that for?" There's like 2 responses you could say. It's this wrong place, wrong time, but then he chews you out. Or you could say, "Well, they tried to make me pay taxes," and his response is understandable. You know what I mean? Like, Mr. House is a bit neurotic. Okay, and he is a high-functioning, autistic narcissist. He is. He very much is. And you know, and I think that little argument, that little exchange was not as bad as people are making it out to be. I think House and no, and you know, the other thing that saved House's bacon. Now, this would have made me really, really mad. Is if Mr. House was responsible for the nukes, if he was the one that was going to launch, like they were trying to make him out to be, I would say fuck this show. That would have been a bridge too far. The blowing up Shady Sands, that's already rough. But the man invested his life's fortune into defending Las Vegas. So I don't see him dropping the news. So whatever he was like, you honestly think I'm trying to do that? Like when he was in that conversation, he's like, you think I'm doing that? Or your people that are telling you think I'm doing that, they are stupid. I'm doing everything I can to defend Las Vegas. That one line there, saved Mr. House. But those are just my thoughts. Let's go ahead and pass the talking stick. Director, how do you feel about the viewership being down?
I think they explained precisely why, and that, quite frankly, more people probably could stand to only check on things every week or so. That used to be how it always was. New episodes every week. Now, true, we can all binge watch things now, but, you know, there is some merit to anticipation and waiting and just scheduling it out. It provides opportunity to get together as a family and watch something. Probably not this necessarily as family. Look, I'm really enjoying the series. I just started watching it myself very recently, and I think it's got a lot of potential. By the way, you have absolutely spoiled the twist that House was apparently responsible for the loss of Shady Sands, which is also kind of dumb because the entire point of House is that he uses everyone to accomplish his goals. In this case, leveraging the NCR to generate revenue to, well, fund his bright plans for the future of humanity to get the hell off the planet.
Right.
I am one of the ones who always win with the House always wins. And I'm still supporting Mr. House now. Yes, he's a high-functioning autistic narcissist, but he's one who winds up being useful to more people than just himself.
He's kind of one of those. He's kind of one of those philanthropists that are only as good of a philanthropist as they are because they have to have a sense of satisfaction for their personal insecurities by being a philanthropist.
No,
I
and he's
wouldn't know
ruthless.
Anybody like that at all.
Well, in House's case, he was never really happy for anyone to kill anyone else because he always had a plan to use them for a brighter future. An exception being the Brotherhood of Steel, and I don't think anyone would argue he was wrong.
He's definitely his motivations. It's like that scene, that meme. You know, he's out of line, but he's right. That applies to Mr. House. He's out of line, but he's right. He is a carbon copy of Howard Hughes. They modeled him after Howard Hughes. Absolutely correct.
The snow globes, a definite nod to Citizen Kane.
Yes.
I believe my co-host is screwing with my camera. And never mind, this will be fixed.
All right. Dignified cartoon gentleman, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, as long as the show resonates with people, it'll keep getting made. Apparently, there are supposed to be 5 seasons, so where Fallout goes from here, I have no idea. Will they keep going eastward? Will the 3rd season be in Texas? Will the 4th season be in the Capital Wasteland? Will the 5th season be in the Commonwealth, the Boston Commonwealth? I don't know. What I can tell you is, folks, I just find it very interesting that Bethesda, as custodians of Fallout as a franchise, after Fallout 76, the franchise was on life support, quite frankly. And many folks wondered if it had a future. Now, you could argue that the future is bright for Fallout. I don't think that's the case, because I think Bethesda are banking on this Amazon project succeeding as a run-up for whatever they decide to call Fallout 5. Because let's face it, if Fallout 5 fails, Fallout is dead, quite frankly. right? So they need this show to succeed. They have a vested interest in this show succeeding. And I think of all the streaming platforms to have Fallout as a TV show, as a streaming show, Amazon are, the best custodians. Imagine if Disney had control of this, or Netflix,
Lord,
right?
have mercy,
I
right?
I mean, Amazon does have a history of good projects, and they also have a history of bad projects. But the one thing that we can all stand by here is, despite all the inconsistencies that we are seeing, the fact of the matter is it's enjoyable. That's what people are craving. They're craving for enjoyment, right? If you enjoy a project, you don't care if one of the main guys is a brown Indian, okay? As long as you
Right.
enjoy the project, right?
Right.
You don't care if I don't know, the Brotherhood of Steel destroy a pre-war car, because you enjoy the rest of the show. You're like, that's a bit problematic, but I like the feel of the show. Unfortunately, folks, transferring a franchise from one genre to another is something most companies get entirely wrong. And I think it's progress for a company or for an institution to get it partly wrong than completely wrong. Okay? I don't know where Fallout goes from here as a streaming show. They've got 5 seasons. This is season 2. What do they do without making it up as they go along? Unless they steal pieces of the past and regurgitate them in the future, in the present rather, with new stories, new locations, in order to use that as a springboard for Fallout's future with Fallout 5. And guess what? Fallout 5 will look exactly like Fallout 4, or Starfield, or The Elder Scrolls 6. We know what a Bethesda game is, folks. So expect that for Fallout 5 when it gets released in, 2030, 2035. How long, Tony, do you know how long it took between the first and second season of Fallout to get released?
Little over a year, a little
Right.
less than a year. Yeah, but for when it comes to games, I know that it's like now it's like a decade between each release these days.
So I think what this show will have to do, because Bethesda are not going to make Fallout 5 by the end of the decade.
No.
I'm doubting they'll even release Elder Scrolls 6 by the end of the decade at this
Agreed.
rate. They've got to either make more episodes, which is impossible for a streaming service, or slow down production. Otherwise, this
Agreed.
show could have season after season of success, right? And in 3 to 4 years, the Fallout TV show ends, and we don't get Fallout 5 for like a decade. What we will get is remakes. Remake of Fallout 3, remake of Fallout New Vegas. Hell, let's remake the original Fallout and Fallout 2, but using the Bethesda style. Let's do that.
I mean, that's what modders are doing. That's what I've seen modders take the Fallout 3 engine, and they've already got like just about the first third of the game done in the Fallout 3 engine.
And I have high hopes for this project. The landscape constantly shifts, but fingers crossed it'll all work out. Fingers crossed. But that's my thoughts.
Those are some good thoughts. And Scooby, you're back just in time because it is your turn. How do you feel about this Fallout viewership dropping? And more importantly, how do you feel about the show? Are you watching the show?
I am not watching the show because I played Fallout 3 for a total of 1 hour because I did not make it to anywhere near I needed to be destination-wise. And Fallout 3, Tony, I know you like to play Fallout. The very first place that I made it to was Bethesda Studios in the game.
That's funny.
I did not know how to read a compass worth a damn.
Jeez.
So I just wandered until I came across a building, and the next thing I know, a trophy pops saying you found Bethesda.
That's That's funny. No,
Which is,
but
yeah,
that's one of the aesthetics of Fallout. One of the aesthetics of Fallout is you can just get up and go. The whole point of it is you're wandering the wastes. You don't have to follow the beacons to play the game. In fact, since I've played the game so much, I just get up and go where I want to go first for whatever build I'm working on. And because, at that point, you can't help but metagame. That's why you add mods to it so that you have more content that you've not played through and, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like first place I found was Bethesda, which is funny because in real life, Bethesda Studios is literally an hour away from me.
That's funny. The irony is palpable. I am so sorry. Well, play New Vegas. There's no Bethesda building there.
I mean, like I play the game. I play the game for 1 hour, and I find myself at Bethesda. In real life, I am 1 hour away from Bethesda. So it's like I am following real life. But I have not seen the show, but from what I understand, the creators, the writers, the directors, the producers, they've all played the game. They've all liked it, and even the actors and actresses, they've all played the game, and they've all enjoyed it. Unlike Galo, which has Master Cheeks.
Master Cheeks.
I'm unfamiliar with this porn parody.
Yes. And unlike that one where nobody was allowed to play the game or know anything about it. So this, compared to that, I'd say this is probably a work of art.
It is very much an art piece because the aesthetic, the cinematography, and the lighting, and the props, and the makeup, it's all glorious.
But the each story is different.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So I guess maybe we should probably treat this series more as an anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, maybe not be too judgmental on it. But then again, like I said, I haven't played the games. I mean, my friend Al gave me the Fallout 3 game, and like after what happened, he told me to send it back. So I had to send it back to him because he said if anybody's gonna play a Fallout game, it's gonna be somebody who knows how to play Fallout. So send it back to me, and I'll play it myself. So I was like, you don't have to be so mean.
Daxonar, not actively hating your source material is a good start, but we shouldn't let that be the benchmark. I agree. I think there needs to be.
It should have been mandatory regardless.
Well, let's face it, guys. Starfield ain't going to be made into a TV show. Could you imagine if an Elder Scrolls game was made into a TV show?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense that any Bethesda title, right, or anything Bethesda has. Imagine if Wolfenstein was a TV show. That wouldn't be even put on the air in certain countries, right?
Yep.
So it's hard to square this circle. And of all the companies responsible for it, I think Amazon are in the best place to be custodians of the Fallout streaming show, despite the fact that they greenlit Rings of Power. Don't ask me how.
Rings of Power is
makes sense.
A whole other can of worms.
I know.
It's up on arrival. It was dead on arrival.
Speaking of custodians, Tony, they finally released the female custodies figurines.
Well,
no.
We'll gripe about Warhammer next week.
Yes,
tangents will occur otherwise.
There will be vengeance.
You'll need to watch Nerd Wars' video on it that he aired today. You're gonna laugh your ass off.
I bet it's funnier than all get up. All right, Marcelo, what you got?
Well, my take on this is welcome to the Fallout multiverse. This is just a different universe than the video games, people. Just reconcile with that fact, okay? Don't overthink it. this is just a different universe in the Fallout multiverse. That's the way I'm taking it. That I'm just enjoying it for what it is. Okay. I'm going to go on the record. I happen to be a Walton Goggins fan. I like the guy. I like his style. All right. I'm not a fan of Justin Theroux, but he's playing a mighty good Mr. House. I got to give him that. He's playing a mighty good Mr. House, and I think that was actually a really good casting. It was a
great exchange. That dialogue was glorious.
Yeah. No, the guy as the guy needs to ease up on his Adderall narcissist was spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And for those that have not played the games, the way that they're feeding into, hey, how this kind of could have happened is just really nice, because it's just kind of teasingly dragging you along into it. Although, I'll look at it this way. I'm not too hurt by the ratings drop. I just can't, for the life of me, think of what they were actually thinking. What were they going after by going to a weekly episodic format, then drop it like it's really hot and let everybody just suck into it? Except for the fact that when they first dropped it was during the holidays, and they didn't expect as many people to be watching it or binging it during the holidays. Maybe that's why. But other than that, I can't reason out why they would have episoded it out on a weekly basis when they could have just blasted anything coming out in January if they wanted to wait until January, and people would have waited. Let's be clear. Yeah. People would have waited. Okay.
For the full year, we would have waited for the full year, and it would have been glorious.
We would have waited. It's like, okay, guys, we're going to wait one more month, and we're going to get it all at one time. We're going to see what's been going on with Thaddeus. We're going to see what's been going on with the Ghoul. We're going to get all up into this. Okay. The one thing that I'm kind of like, that's kind of left me a little bad flavor is the whole situation back at 32 and 33. It almost seems like a complete and utter afterthought.
The 32 and 33, from what we've gathered so far, and this is a bit spoilery, but obviously, whenever they dropped a certain acronym that is also the same acronym for the forced evolutionary virus.
Ixnay on the TLA. Ixnay on the TLA. Ixnay on the TLA, baby. Don't say anything about that. You guys never heard any of that, okay? Ignore the last 10 seconds. Ignore the last 10 seconds.
I'm just saying, for my money's work, I think that Fall 32 and 33 are going to become afterthoughts. Literally.
Don't plot us for the details. Don't plot us for the details. Move along, people. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see. Nothing to see here. Okay. Nothing to see here.
Well, rest assured, I'm not going to get angry, and you've already spoiled something for me.
I am so sorry.
I'll enjoy this series regardless. It's fine. I'm
so sorry. I get so excited in talking about
Although for those who have an excellent memory and can't get past that, I suspect that will be a central theme in season 3. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because we got through the con. Well, we kind of scratched on the cons. We've scratched on the Legion. Okay.
The Legion.
Yeah.
Legion is done for.
Yeah,
you are caught up that far, right?
Yeah.
Before I talk about any more of what's went on,
I'm not worried about it. Go ahead and spoil whatever you like.
You've not seen season 2 at all. Never mind.
Okay, let's move along here then.
We're moving right along. Moving right along. Let's.
For what it's worth, I'm glad to hear Legion is SOL, because I hate them so much.
The Legion can suck a fat one. Agreed.
Well, it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of Idiots.
Raiders. Organized raiders is all they
Although
are.
it was nice to see Macaulay Culkin once more. That's all.
I'm looking forward to this.
That's all I'm going to say. That.
Oh
let's
my
face it,
God!
guys.
Oh no!
Let's face it, guys. We all know who the big bad is going to be towards the end of Fallout's show. All roads do not lead to Rome. All roads lead to the Enclave.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we know that. We know it's
I was
coming.
surprised to hear the Enclave was still in operation.
Mhm.
They've been losing big every single encounter.
Well, you know how they like to, because we've talked about how, the TV show has been mixing a few things and changing a few things. We all know how it's going to end. All the factions will band together against a resurgent enclave that seeks to make America great again. Obvious.
Surprise,
Obvious.
surprise,
Now,
surprise.
the problem
Oh,
with
no.
the Enclave is they're in Chicago. If there's one last base that I can guess with a 99% certainty is the Enclave still has their presence in Chicago. Because Navarro's wiped out, Raven Rock's wiped out. But then with the DLC that came with Fallout 4, apparently Frank Horrigan does survive the sinking of Navarro. And he is a very difficult boss fight in your encounter with him. And even then, you don't kill him there. So there might be some more Frank Horrigan stuff. Now, as far as my favorite antagonist in Fallout ever, it goes to Frank Horrigan. That guy is awesome. So I can't wait to see if they bring him to the small screen. That'll be a lot of fun. Hail to the great Furious Stan. Hail to you, my friend. Good to see you.
I'd be curious if they do, Tony, who they cast for that.
It'd have to be a very big dude.
Because if you think of Irredeemable, that's him.
Yeah.
Irredeemable. If you ever pick Irredeemable character, that would be it. There's no redeeming qualities.
He's a monster.
None.
He's a monster.
That's what I'm saying. There's no redeeming qualities.
That's what makes him appealing. That's what makes him appealing because you can't reason with him. You can't. You can't reason with him.
Yeah, there's no redeeming qualities to that. None. Okay.
The only other villain that I have ever fought against in a video game that I think is the perfect villain that deserves to die, Handsome Jack, Borderlands.
Well, Handsome Jack has this other edge for him too, and that is his unlimited, nigh infinite charisma. The dude has this ability to smile at random people, and they're like, "Yes, sir. No, sir." Like he has this exuberant amount of charisma about him.
He is the biggest narcissist.
Yes.
But
he does it so well.
And the guy who created and the guy who voices him, he did so much ad-libbing, like calling the horse Butt Diamond.
Butt Stallion.
Yeah, Butt Stallion.
I was going to call him shit for braids thinking about you, but
when they get around to it, all I can say is
these pretzels suck.
Yeah. When they get around to that, if they pull that off, and they get a good character that can pull off that aura, they're gonna get even bigger numbers for seasons 4 and 5. If that's
right, guys, nature is calling, so I'm going to have to humbly request you guys vamp, continue talking about Borderlands until a return. Thank you very much.
I don't know goddamn thing about Borderlands.
Borderlands 2 was so awesome. And one of the things that made you hate Handsome Jack even more is the things he was doing in the background, like the way he was torturing his own fucking daughter was, I mean, he did so many evil things. It wasn't even funny.
There goes monetization.
Well, there is one thing I know about Borderlands as a franchise, and that is if you're currently playing it on PC, Take-Two has all the rights in their user license agreement to take all of your personal data, including your financial data. so they can literally fraud you. That's why I will never play a Borderlands game on PC or with any kind of internet connection. That's all I know.
That is good to
I have-
know.
I
Thank
love
you for that.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 is it is the creme de la creme out of the entire series. 3 and 4 sucked ass. The first one was great as an introduction. The second is absolutely amazing. And the fact that they made a movie out of it that was so horrible. I was like, no. No.
Well, that makes me wonder is how Peacock is able to get 2 seasons of Twisted Metal is just beyond me. Because I remember Twisted Metal when that thing came out on PS1, and I was like, "Wow, this is freaking awesome!" And what look what they done to my boy, you know?
Because you find well, first of all, you're dealing with people who don't even know how to do movies and TV shows properly, right? And second of all, transferring a franchise from one genre to another is not easy. In fact, it's quite difficult, even if you know everything you know about, your project. Transferring something from a movie to a game or from a game to a movie, it's not easy at all because they're 2 different genres with 2 distinct ways of doing things. That's why some of the most successful franchises in entertainment are very, very good at transferring from, say, movies to games to merchandise. This is why Star Wars was so incredibly successful, because for decades it hit banger after banger in almost every genre it was in until Disney took over.
But then again, there are some games that are borderline movies or that basically play out like movies that even when they make a movie about that game, they still fuck it up.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because they try to make it different, and that's the problem.
Like Until Dawn, okay, that was pretty much a movie. That was a movie as it was. And then the guy said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna," and then they make Until Dawn. Yeah, we made Until Dawn, but we want to make sure that it's nothing like the game. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean it's nothing like the game? Oh, it has nothing to do with the game. It doesn't even have the same storyline. What? Yeah, it's nothing. No, not the same storyline. Doesn't have the same characters. Doesn't have this. Well, then why the fuck are you calling it Until Dawn?
Right.
Because we're waiting for the sunrise.
Agreed. The next one that we'll probably be talking about as we get closer towards the end of the year is one of my personal favorites. And that's the one thing that, of course, we can always expect Netflix to really screw the pooch, and that's BioShock.
Ugh.
Okay. I mean, I'm sorry, but you mess that with me, that's it. Game over.
I mean, they've fucked up the new
BioShock. What do you think Netflix is going to do to it?
There you go.
They totally fucked up the new Devil May Cry animated series. The newest version completely, totally sucked ass. But the original animated version that they made based off the game was actually pretty good.
Okay. All I want to know is who gave Scooby the caffeine tonight?
Fuck you.
Because,
Slay.
All right
Slay
then.
Did.
All right then.
I'll make it very clear, folks, right? If I want to see an animated invasion of the Iraq War, I am not going to watch Devil May Cry because it was literally playing American Idiot invading hell like it was Iraq. I mean, talk about unoriginal and unimaginative.
So
it's completely and utterly
the original
ridiculous.
the original animated Devil May Cry movie. I mean, not movie. The original Devil May Cry animated show was nothing like that whatsoever. The new animated Devil May Cry show is just like a shit show. It's like it's a show that they threw a bunch of shit against the wall to see what they stuck, and they thought, oh, this is gonna work. But no, it does not work. I'm sorry. It's like the game DMC. It doesn't work.
And that is why, because a franchise is only as good as its last release, folks. I'm just going to come out and say it, right? And that is why, as a franchise, right, there's a reason Final Fantasy made 16, because it's a great Devil May Cry game, because they capitalized on the fact that as a franchise, Devil May Cry, as a result of that awful Netflix project, is now in a weakened state. That's why if the Fallout show, say it has a bad third season, say it goes the way of Stranger Things and has a bad middle season, and it rocks the boat a bit, that's going to really weaken the Fallout franchise in the future, because you're only as good as your last success.
All right, I am back. A shout out to my good friend PJ over at Inspiration TV. It's a pleasure to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
And Tony, by the way, Marcelo thinks that I've had a lot of caffeine.
But it was a compliment. It was a
I
compliment.
never said it was a bad thing. I'm just saying he thought I had enough caffeine. So.
I was just
Considering your response.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I gotta
let her.
I gotta
keep the
quote
mic for the next
Ginger
half
Wolf.
hour.
I gotta quote Ginger Wolf with this. I gotta say I'm over caffeinated and underpaid.
Yeah, no,
Wink,
I was just
wink,
going to
wink.
say, you could have
Sports
stayed
Channel.
on that phone call for a while yet and just let her go. She could have kept the mic for another half hour.
Right on. Well, she's getting a lot better. She's getting a lot better with her mic skills, I will admit.
As far as caffeine goes, you'll know if I'm over caffeinated, especially Tony, because I get the shakes.
Chubby also makes a point that Handsome Jack is also being the complete jackass, and he still got balls deep with Mad Mox. Yep, proves how much of being a jerk gets you laid way more. It does. In a lot of ways, it does. But let's go ahead and recenter. And now that I have returned, albeit a few pounds lighter, let's go ahead and get to our next segment. Let's bring up some of that gaming news. And this one hits close to the feels too. I played cards yesterday, and I was talking about how I was only going to buy one of these secret layers because I do have the Fallout. Commander decks. I've got the set, but they're doing a lot of reprints, and I don't know why. I guess it's just another way to make money for new fans. But we're going to get into it. Of 2026 cards and price breakdown. Now, the only one of these that I'm going to get is one that's got the main characters from the show on it because they're actually printed new cards. Every other card that is being released in the Super Drop is just a reskin of an existing card. And Wizards of the Coast has become more and more fixated on this format as of lately with their secret lair drops, which is very depressing. But I'm definitely going to be picking up a copy of the Ghoul because I already have the expensive pieces that I need to break him. Not even 10 seconds into reading his card text, I figured out how to break the Ghoul and break the game. Like, I was like, oh, you just need a Phyrexian Arena and a Gravecrawler. Win-win. But for those of you that don't play, I'm obviously speaking a lot of gibberish. So let's just get into the article as thus. Are the new Magic the Gathering Fallout secret layers worth the money? Here's a little price analysis of each one. To borrow a phrase, new secret lair alert, Magic the Gathering is dropping a Fallout-themed secret layers on January 26th. Tying with the recently released new series on Amazon Prime. Are these card collections any good? Should you buy them? And if so, is that anyone you? We'll break down these drops one by one and see what gives you the best bang for your buck and what kinds of decks these cards are best suited for. Bear in mind, of course, that the card prices here are just meant to prove a guideline. A reprint, even in a limited drop, can alter the card's value in the secondary market. On the other hand, thanks to their scarcity, secret lair cards can end up costing far more than their regular copies, especially if they have super sweet art, which is the unfortunate truth. With the disclaimer out of the way, let's have a look at this rad Fallout Super Drop, and we will judge on you. Thanks for that. This is the Lucy Super Drop, and we can attempt to zoom in here. Well, that's about as high as I can get it. So let's go ahead and zoom about as good as I can get it, kiddies. But as you can tell, obviously very pretty artwork. There's the Ghoul there. And I like I said, whenever I read it, I play zombies. I have a zombie deck, a blue-black zombie deck that already has a Phyrexian altar and a Gravecrawler in it. I can take out one of my redundant cards, slot this guy in there, and it's off to the races. But that's one of the biggest things about these new prints is a lot of them are very much game breaking. But I'm definitely going to be getting beyond Vault 33, and that's going to be the only one that I grab. And the reason being is because it has the new stuff in it. It has Lucy, Positively Armed, Ghoul, and Maximus. And then, of course, just a few pretty things. I'm obviously a lot of people like the foil stuff. I never buy foil. I'm going to get the non-foil because they're going to see a lot of play. This first drop brings in the characters from the Fallout TV series. Costs 10 more than the rest of the secret layers, obviously because it's new cards. That's only because it's the one to contain such. It's hard to tell that if this one's worth it, as monetary value for this drop will depend entirely on how popular these new cards are. Like the rest are worth a pittance. That's tied in how much these characters want to run their commander, or for how fun, unique, and powerful they are as cards. I'm more qualified to speak on the latter. I'll say that Lucy is definitely the best of the three. She is, because she's a token generator and a copier. The Ghoul could be interesting in some sort of zombies combo build. Oh, see, this guy doesn't even know the trick yet. I might be ahead of the crowd. Maximus can fetch his own armor, which is fun, but you only want to use them in an energy deck. Meanwhile, Lucy can let you copy tokens, copies of everyone's tokens, and benefits from handing tokens out to other players, which can make it a very interesting and original group hug deck. And things get really wild when you play a card like Wedding Ring. Yeah, I've heard about the Wedding Ring combo. Now, everything else is just reprints. This is dog meat themed Greet the Dog. And it's just a reprint of Yoshimaru, Arcane Signet. It's got Lightning Greaves, Patchwork Banner, and Sol Ring as the dog bowl, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, my favorite Sol Ring is the Arc Reactor, but I could be a bit biased. Then you got the Radiation Secret Lair. And again, these are all just reprints, most of which, besides the Mesmeric Orb, is the Mothman Egg. And Mindcrank is still the same. Mutational Advantage is still the same. The Wise Mothman is a reprint of the Wise Mothman. And Ripples of Potential, which is good for proliferating. So they're very pretty to look at, but as you can tell, you would get the Mindcrank. You would get this one just for the Mindcrank and the Mesmeric Orb, both of which are really good cards that shut other decks down. In this one, we got New Vegas. Benny is a reprint of Tiny Bones. I do have this Tiny Bones. I run a Tiny Bones commander deck as well. It's just not as and I would never think that Benny from the Tops would fit that character. I do like how Josh Graham is Ishin. That makes sense. The custom caravan deck is just a reprint of the Deck of Many Things from the also Universes Beyond D&D set. The Platinum Chip is obviously the money card in this set, with it basically being a reprint of Cage Sun. And the Nuka, this would be the only card that I would really seek out, because I have a Nuka-Cola vending machine when I bought the commander decks, but I don't have the Sunset Sarsaparilla version. That would be the only one that I want out of this pack, because I have everything else, just their normal versions. But this is one of the problems that we see with some of these Secret Lair reprints, and it's a problem because they're just reprinting cards. They're reprinting them. They're making them easier to obtain, but then they're also making money off the fact that this one's going to be just a little bit more expensive, because yeah. Director, what are your thoughts on this?
I must confess, first off, I've never played Magic the Gathering. It's new fascination with just crossing all of the streams and realities into a new multiverse of cards is something I'd probably be even more confused with. But as far as the art goes, I have to say it is looking pretty solid, and it's mostly just reminding me what I've seen with the Fallout series thus far. As a brief tangent, I really appreciate how Lucy McLean is not an obnoxious girl boss feminist icon who just tells everyone what to do and, well, basically confuses being strong with being a complete bitch.
Right.
I've been really enjoying that. It's been a long time since we've had a female protagonist who isn't, well, doing their best to seemingly revive misogyny.
Right. The cool thing I like about Lucy is she's a bit more of a believable character because she is a naive vault dweller. The whole point about playing Fallout as a vault dweller is this is all supposed to be new to you. You grew up in a meritocracy that is the confines of a vault, and right, and that now you basically have entered into a Mad Max scenario. Good to see you, Carlos Fish. Glad to see you. And yes, I noticed that super chat. Thank you very much. I will be reading that during our next super chat block. I do apologize that there was a bit of an audio breakup. I don't know what that was about. I do apologize for that. Digny, what are your thoughts on this Magic the Gathering super drop? Do you play?
I've heard a lot about Magic the Gathering. I've also heard a lot about Wizards of the Coast and their nefarious practices. I look at it as an outsider looking in, and I'm very grateful that I have nothing to do with the franchise and the company that backs it up, because if ideology, folks, if the opposition's ideology could last forever, it could well last forever in Wizards of the Coast. They have found a near perfect way of monetizing the thing that's known as wokeness. And it's horrific, quite frankly. I feel sorry for anyone who is a Magic the Gathering fan. In fact, I feel sorry for anyone who is a fan of any franchise connected to Wizards of the Coast. I mean, the cards look very nice. I mean, that's the lure. That's the allure.
The gameplay's solid too. I mean, you can bust it a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh now, because Yu-Gi-Oh was busted at launch. You can win Yu-Gi-Oh in like 4 turns, sometimes 2 turns, and now it's like Magic's getting to that point to where, like I said, when I saw the Ghoul, I immediately knew how to make him a busted card and break the game. Like that was just instinctual in my head. And while I am a fan of Magic the Gathering, I am certainly not a fan of the Wizards of the Coast, which is why if these cards do skyrocket, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of proxy card artists on Etsy. If there's a card that you want to slot into your deck of old cards that you play with your old friends, and you don't have the money or want to support the company, support some of these proxy artists. At the end of the day, if it's your kitchen table, you make the rules. Who cares about tournament rules? Take this from a former judge. I used to judge games, okay? Get a proxy copy of a card if you really like it, slot it in your sleeve, and play it with your friends, and don't break your bank or support companies that you don't want to support. That is all I will say about that.
Oh, yeah.
So to answer how you feel about certain mindsets, now I hope that cleared that up, Digby.
Absolutely. It's just anytime I hear, either Magic the Gathering or Wizards of the Coast as a topic, right? Whether it's been in the past few months or the past few years, I always know it's bad news for folks in our circle, because usually they've poisoned something and they're making money off of it.
Right. Scoob, what are your thoughts, my good friend?
I don't know much about Magic the Gathering aside from Words of Paradise, aka Leon. I know he's obsessed with it.
I want to play a few games with him. That'd be real fun. If we could figure out how to do that on a stream, that'd be even cooler.
I know you like it. I personally have never played it, but I have seen the cards and the card games like it and stuff. And I gotta say, the only appeal to me when it comes to them is the artwork on the cards. Can be absolutely amazing. So that's all I can say.
Agreed. Short, sweet, and simple. All right. Marcelo, a man who probably played this game back when I first started, which was around 94, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
If you played, yeah.
Alas, poor Magic. Alas, poor Magic. How I miss thee. Let me count the ways. It's like it just it's been a long time since Magic the Gathering was Magic the Gathering, and Wizards of the Coast.
It's Fortnite the Gathering, don't you know? Did you get the memo?
Yeah,
It's Fortnite
well,
the Gathering now.
Yeah,
Says the guy who
exactly.
has a Tony Stark deck. Shush.
Exactly, but like the song says, they, my favorite trio, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, they took the last train for the coast. It wasn't that coast, folks. They went for the complete opposite coast, because whatever the hell was going on at Wizards of the Coast, they didn't want any part of it, and I'm pretty sure they don't want any part of this either. So other than the bankability of some of these cards, if some of them are that rare and someone is prepared for the sake of actually owning it, and you happen to have it for no other reason other than the fact that you can sell it and use that money for some other good purpose, like perhaps helping out our good friend Casey, just putting it out there, I wouldn't bother with these cards. Do you
know that Wes Cagle still has his Black Lotus?
Wow.
I've seen it on cam. It's real.
And it is probably pure vanity that keeps him owning it. Because at this point, there's probably some basement dweller that will make serious money offers for that card.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just putting it out there, Cagle. I'm serious, dude. You could probably
could buy himself a new house with that card.
Dude, the man could invest it and make bank from that investment. Okay, at this point, it's probably the safest thing to do, because it could happen. Someone unscrupulous could, I don't know, Jimmy the Lock, and
Marcelo, are you talking about yourself?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Squibby, but now that I know that Cagle has one,
It's if anybody's going to rob him, I'm expecting either you or Tony.
Listen here, I may be in courts with supervillains, but
Peter. No, it wouldn't.
I'm a supervillain.
No, that's a disbarable offense, Scooby.
Tony knows I do it with love.
No, but seriously, if Cagle's listening to this, dude, seriously.
Oh, he's got his Power 9. He didn't show it on stream. He showed it to us backstage, but he's got his Ancestral Recall, his Time Twist, all 5 boxes, and the Lotus.
And Tony, if you want to see some collector's edition, anything, I sent you 2 pics in the DM.
If you know what, if I were him, I would sell that card and then turn around and short Anthropic or OpenAI. Invest it in short OpenAI and Anthropic, and I'm telling you, by the end of the year, he will be able to buy another and still have the cash left over.
Oh my God, Scooby! What in the absolute?
Well, like I said, if some unscrupulous individual were to Jimmy a lock, and hey, these things happen.
I will only do it. I will only do it if I could do the Peter Griffin, voicing my own music as I speak. I'm like,
yeah. The funny part is that I bet you that if he took it on Antiques Roadshow, that would probably make it into an episode.
Oh yeah, definitely, because he's got it rating on it too. I think the rating on it was 8.9 for like card mintability and
very nice.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
But let's see here. We do have one super chat that crept in. Thank you for supporting my humble corner of the internet. Let's go ahead and read that now. Jacob, the Red Wolf, with a very generous 10 spot. Thank you and hail, sir. He says the new Fallout should have a death claw in it with a piece of celery for a hand and Patrick Dempsey for a leg. Just saying. Oh, heavens of Betsy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It will in a dream sequence.
It will in a dream sequence. let's go ahead and catch up what everybody else is saying after that super chat before we get to our odd news segment. And thank you for tuning in to the StarkCast Mk27. We're having a lot of fun here. We're doing it at a very leisurely pace, but it's perfectly fine. We got the Bond and Glitch show. It's a pleasure to see you. Welcome back to the program. Indeed. We are a full-time entertainer, folks, and your tips do wonders. Good to see you, Vox. How you doing? Good to see you. Lucy, being a complete naive idiot, certainly made her a lot more likable. And the fact that as she is progressing through the wasteland, she's holding on to that. She's had to make compromises, and there have always been tough decisions when she does. That just gives her more points to being a likable character. They were so desperate to make her a girl boss. Whenever they were doing the preview, whenever they was like doing the trailers, they had her basically like Rosie the Riveter, sleeveless, t-shirt, big pipe wrench. I could fix anything. And I'm like, oh, and everybody's initial reaction obviously was, oh no, this is going to be one of them in it. Carlos Fish says Magic's new set has commercials by Jim Henson's company now. Wow. Jim Henson.
Okay.
Wow.
Had not seen that.
I have no interest in competing, so I'd have a problem with using Project the Max. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Agreed. They have screwed themselves. That is very true, Shrubs. My favorite song of all time, Scorpions' Winds of Change. When I started, I could have purchased a Lotus for $20 to $50. Likewise. Good to see the captain in the house. A pleasure. How you doing tonight? Kayla says, card ratings are such a bullshit racket like fine art or wine tasting. Fair. Yay for the scuttlebutt reference. Back when SP was funny. Fish of the fish. And that is going to wrap up our super chat and our chat wrap up segment for this. It's time to get a little odd. We got two odd news articles for you this evening, and they're pretty silly. Let's get into it. So, a goat, of all things, got detained for trying to break into a retirement community. In the police responded to a retirement home in Washington on a report of a goat attempting to break into the facility. The Auburn Police Department said on social media that officers arrived at Wesley Homes to find a goat was attempting to gain entry into the building. The officers safely, quote, detained, end quote, the suspect until a friend of the owner arrived to pick her up, the Post said. The goat named Ruby posed for a photo with the officers before being taken home. Charges were dropped due to extreme adorableness. Lord, how tacky. Isn't it funny, though, that the animals can get away with anything, but if we dare step out of line once, everybody and their mother gets all up in a tizzy. We're taking the same theme like you did with the sheep from last week. But, yeah, goats wanting to retire. I know that the term, you old goat, the goat said, fuck this, I'm coming in. Good to see the Top Hat gentleman as well, and Galaxy Red over there on the Green Machine. A pleasure, my friend. And thank you for B-Roll Stage also hanging out over there on the Green Machine. Appreciate you. Hopefully we'll pick up some more rumblers as well. So, director, the term your old goat does apply here, yeah? Or what else you got?
I'm just thoroughly baffled as to why he wanted to get into a retirement home, but I have to note that this could have gotten much worse. I mean, I seem to recall a squirrel and a raccoon in the not too distant past that got snuffed for less. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad this happened in a state, an area where the police have sense of humor, and no one was inclined to just shoot it.
Yes, justice for Peanut. We are not going to let that go.
But why was it trying to get the retirement? Does Ben Gay just smell like ambrosia to goats. What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Really baffled by his motivation.
Agreed. Having a bit of a shakeup on the duckyard yet again. I don't know what's going on. Getting quite cross with it. But if there are any audio flubs, we do apologies. We do apologies for the technical difficulties. I can't even say apologize right because I'm all over the place. All right, Digny, what are your thoughts on does this get your goat?
It's quite clear. I see what you did there, and I'm the one who usually tells bad jokes. But there's a reason, director, that the goat wasn't harmed. And if you understand the symbology of goats, you will realize that no government worker would ever harm such a symbol for obvious reasons if you get what the goat is a symbol of. I do think this situation is very strange, but this is a consequence of living in America, whether you're actually living there or you're singing a song about it. It's you guys, you're a baffling people with such baffling situations. It's beyond the mind of any non-American. Certainly baffling a European mind, especially in this instance. But there's an answer to your question, director, in regards to why the goat didn't suffer the same fate as the squirrel and the raccoon. Symbology. So there you go.
And Skrell. Yes, Sigvalison, pop culture is dead. We are on to the odd news segment. So you must not fret. Do not fret. We are here to make you laugh, even without pop culture commentary.
Yes.
Scoobs! What about your goats?
For anybody who's a fan of the Navy, like I am, I want to know how the hell their mascot ended up in Washington. Because Bill is not allowed out of his cage if he's not at a game. And normally, aren't old goats the ones trying to get out of the old folks' home, not get in?
Yeah.
That's it. He was trying to stage a break. He wasn't trying to get in. He was trying to open the door for them.
He was trying. Yep, that's right. He was trying to break the lock, get the guards out of the way. He was going to break the lock, get the guards out of the way, and then send a little symbol up in the air for it. Go for it now! Run!
He's trying to free.
The hell with bingo! Embrace freedom!
Mista, get me out of here! Kudos to anybody who gets that movie reference.
Yeah.
10 points to the first person who gets Scooby's quote. Marcelo, this is a punny bit of news, wouldn't you say? A very punny bit of news.
Yeah, I'd say it's very punny. And if that goat is seeking legal representation, we are available. At first glance, my interpretation would be that the poor animal was framed. And the poor animal
the fake news segment is later. Go ahead.
Animal. Yeah, it was obviously framed. It was lured to said retirement community with the
Thinking it was a farm.
Well, perhaps, but it was lured there with promises of different foodstuffs, and then made a proxy for for the local constabulary. So I fully expect that said animal will be exonerated and cleared of all charges.
I have to bring this up because every time I see this quote, I have to do it as with my Randy. Yeah. I am Lord. Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my my interpretation. And I fully recommend that Goats' family seek qualified representation in the state of Washington.
Sounds good. Sounds good. At the end of the day, there is a case where an old goat might be helping other old goats get out and run free.
Community service.
But,
Service.
But that's just part one of the veritable animal house of zaniness that we have. And that is, of course, our second part of Les Odd, Les Nuls. Now, I don't know about you, but if that don't say a case of the crabs, I don't know what it is.
And you have a Marylander in your panel.
Crash truck releases 15,000 live crabs. Now, I honestly hope that there is a crashed shampoo truck nearby. But let's just go ahead and get into this. This happened on the 14th, 3 days ago. A recovery crew was summoned to an Irish road when a truck carrying up to 15,000 crabs crashed in a ditch and set the crustaceans free. The McLaughlin transport truck was carrying a load of crabs caught in Inishinoan to restaurants and stores in Portugal when it wound up in a ditch on the side of the R238 road in Carrick's McQuickley, Redcastle, County Donegal. Hopefully I said that right. The driver was not injured, but the crash caused up to 50,000 crabs, approximately $70,000 worth of seafood to be spilled out their aluminum containers. Crews from the Burnfoot-based McLaughlin's light and heavy recovery services were brought in to clear the wreckage and round up the crabs. It must have been a very unusual scene, to say the least. We have arrived with a lot of crabs that spilled out of their containers and were making a bid for freedom into the fields. Company owner Aldrin McLaughlin told RTE, a team of up to 10 of us had to physically retrieve the crabs, put them into large bags, and load them onto the truck. Took us a few hours to fill the bags. The crane was also brought to the scene to lift the truck and trailer upright. McLaughlin estimated that about 95% of the crabs were recovered during the 18-hour recovery effort. So that's a salvage mission, if I do say so myself. Of course, obviously, I don't think that the folks at Captain D's are going to be a bit upset when they find out that the crabs were rolling around in a ditch before they became crab cakes. But it was meant to be very terrible indeed. So let's get to it, shall we? Arcater.
Well, looking at this, I'm reminded once again that these crabs deserve their fate because they're dumb and jerks. Quite frankly, they probably just held each other in place just to keep one of them from escaping, thus giving them all the time they needed to round them up again.
Correct.
I'm sure it's good they were salvaged so they might serve better in life as someone's dinner.
Crab people, talk like crab, taste like people. Wait, that's not how that goes. Digny, what are your thoughts on this?
750 crabs escaped in a covert operation of the Irish Crab Liberation Front, ladies and gentlemen.
That's even better than what I had ready.
Because what's 5% of 15,750? Which means in a generation, the Irish won't need to catch Portuguese crab because Portuguese crab will be all over Ireland. Do these people have no idea what kind of ecological disaster they have unleashed by doing this? It's completely crazy, folks. Right? If even a handful of those crabs reach the ocean, goodbye Ireland, because the Portuguese know how to deal with the crab issue. The Irish don't. Okay? Fundamentally, And I want to make this very, very clear, folks. The crabs did this. The crabs caused the crash because they knew the majority of them would get captured and put into crab concentration camps to be eaten by the evil, oppressive humans. Okay? So some of them stayed this, right, in order to liberate themselves as part of the Irish Crab Liberation Front. Okay? It's as simple as that. How else do you explain a mass car crash? I mean, the IRA doesn't exist anymore. You can't blame them.
Mm.
And this isn't even our fake news topic. Please carry on.
Our fake news topic is one for the books, ladies and gentlemen. I know I said I wasn't going to be doing any actual coverage of certain big studios, but this fake news article is just too damn funny to ignore. And so if you guys stay to the end of the show, you will love it. Yes, the fake news is one of my favorite segments. We have a rotating fun segment at the end of every one of these programs. Sometimes it's something of talking about something we love. Other times it's a fake news article brought to us by the Babylon Bee or the Onion. Other times it is reacting to AI slop. Just a little bit of fun at the end of the show to wash our palates after covering such different things. And good to see you, Suzanne. How you doing? Scooby. Crab people. They resist the Irish regime.
They would, if this happened in Maryland, they would regret doing what they did. Because Marylanders, we are like, when it comes to seafood, especially crabs, we're like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. The moment we hear it, we see it, it becomes mine. So, So, the moment those things would try to make a break for it, they'd be greeted with a bunch of Marylanders holding Old Bay, ready to cook them up and eat them. They'd be surrounded. They would not have a chance. And then you would find a whole bunch of people just grabbing them, saying, mine, mine, mine,
That's
mine,
right.
mine, because crab equals awesome food. Oh my God.
So they would
We
arrange
love
a
it.
second accident where a tanker carrying melted butter just happened to spill in the ditch next.
Oh,
wouldn't
dear
even-
heavens. And
we
the
wouldn't
Old
even
Bay, the Old Bay
there.
truck.
Shit, if there was Old Bay, you would just sit me. Okay, if there was Old Bay, you see me sitting there with just
I
my
thought-
face planted in it. Okay.
I thought that was the reason for the delay in capturing all of them, was that the rescue crew stopped at a store to pick up some Old Bay to tempt the crabs back into the containers.
I mean, if there was an Old Bay, thing, that here's another thing about Marylanders. You could stick a pile of Old Bay in front of us with nothing else around, and we'll just face plant into it. We love it.
Wow.
It has to be on our food. It has to be a cream of crab soup. It's got to be in Maryland crab soup. It's got to be on regular. It's got to be cooked on top of the crab. It's got to be in the crab cakes. It's noticing a pattern here. We love crab. So if this were to happen in Maryland, if this were to happen in Maryland, it would be a godsend. And if you had like a traveling group of Marylanders in a truck, in a van, like in a car, not in a car, in a bus next to the truck, and this happened, people would fight to make the bus stop and get out of the bus and just go after the crab.
Go after
And
the
now-
crab.
And now you know, folks, why America has a 68% obesity rate. It's addicted to crab meat.
Hello?
Oh, no, that's
Uber
not the
Eats?
reason.
Especially
I'd like
blue
to order
crab.
some
Blue
crab.
is amazing. Especially blue crab. Blue crab is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, this is an odd point to realize. I don't think I've actually had crab before.
Oh, you are missing out. You are
Oh my
missing out.
God.
You are.
I might need to work on this.
Oh my God.
Yes,
You have not had the glory of peeling the crab open and pulling out the meat and all that. Oh my God. Oh my God.
We
Jesus
have
Christ,
to
where have you? I have to fix that, Tony. I have to. Not only will I be his assassin, I will bring over crab.
She'll
I'm
assassinate
sorry,
the crabs
folks.
for you so that
Yes.
they taste
Well,
sweeter.
I'll even show you how to clean the crab and everything.
No harm is intended upon any particular animal. All this
Oh,
is
sure.
fictitious, folks. All this is fictitious.
Sure.
No, it would not
Oh
be
no!
fictitious.
all
Stop it!
this
This
fictitious.
crab lives matter.
No,
He
they
saved
don't.
the ones
Matter.
that tried to escape.
Crab
No,
lives
crab
matter.
lives do not
No,
matter.
if this had happened in South Florida, we would have whipped out the mustard sauce because this is Florida stone crab. That's the thing. You guys can have the blue crab. We'll have the stone crab down here. That's the thing. We would have brought out the mustard sauce. The crabs would have slid all over the place. Wouldn't know what to do with themselves. It would have slid right into the pan to get boiled.
Yep.
Okay,
And it
No
doesn't matter.
question of it.
That's just how it is on the East Coast. The East Coast adores crab. In Maryland, I don't know how it is with you. People, Marcelo, people see old newspapers as trash. Here in Maryland, we see old newspapers. We think tablecloth.
We can indulge to that. But down here, there's some folks that they'll eat it a little bit more refined than that. They will take stone crab claws and steam them and then chill them out on beds of ice and then give you a great big hammer to smash them open and dig out the meat. There you go.
We don't chill ours though. We keep them nice and good. We keep them good and warm.
It's the hoity-toity folks. What can I tell you?
The hoity-toity folks.
Breaking off the legs, opening up the chest, pulling out the meat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Vinegar,
Scooby.
butter.
I don't want to know what you do in the bedroom, but I'm amazed. I'm amazed, folks. Right? We have so many American pop culture content creators, and
we're
none of
talking
them have
about-
started a food channel.
Nobody.
I never thought that we would just gush about food. Okay,
know.
I'm gonna be all right, guys. We're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna throw this out there, kids. All right, folks. Listen, we are not gonna become a mukbang channel. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
exactly.
Yeah, I will not take part in that.
Yeah, exactly.
No one will see me eat on camera. Some things must remain
Yes.
personal.
Scooby,
I'm eating right now.
split the crab in half and
Yeah,
has
no
a
one's seeing you do it though.
Man.
That's an important distinction.
Scooby as Savage Land's rogue, splitting up crabs with her bare hands and just eating them.
Bare hand.
I do. That is exactly how I do it. I take crabs. I take the steamed crab, the whole damn thing, and I just snap it in half. And in some cases, I don't snap it in half. Sometimes I'll take a knife to it, lift up the chest, and just start pulling out the crab meat. And sometimes I'll just rip off one of the arms. My mom does the same thing.
Savages.
don't-
Believe in you.
And we are all picturing that now, but we're not seeing it again. That's the
Check.
difference.
Let's
The
take all
glory.
of this out of context, replace crab with human, and this will become a hilarious video clip.
No,
Somebody say cannibalism.
no. That's not what happens, Digny. You do that, and you get the plot line for Pluribus.
No, but
Okay,
in all
let's
seriousness,
be clear.
I'm amazed because there are so many American pop culture content creators, and none of them have started like a food channel because you guys love food. You worship food. 2/3 of your population are
Wait a minute.
obese.
We have our own word, foodies.
Yes, as for the obesity of Americans, did you see what our food pyramid was until quite recently?
No.
It was
Why I
corn
thought
syrup.
you were a radio demon. Oh, he just came in for a little bit. I have all of the buttons on standby. But good to see you, the Eagle Bird Dragon Dog 49. Say that 3 times fast. All right, folks, and anti-derivative Jew. Welcome. We just got through with our odd news segment, and we're about ready to get to our community news segment, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the part of the movie where we see a successful streamer be a douchebag, and we point and laugh at them while we secretly wish that we were as successful as
Not if it means being them.
Time for the community news.
Why can't we all just get along?
Well, according to this guy named Quinn, apparently, hobos. He hates the homeless because they ruin the vibe. What?
Mm-mm.
What is this guy's problem with people that are struggling? I think everybody on this panel has rode the struggle bus before. I'm riding the struggle bus every damn day. This dude has the audacity to say that homeless people ruin the vibe? Oh, we're going to tear you a new asshole, pal. Let's get on to it, shall we?
I fucking hate hobos.
Fucking hates hobos. What?
This is how the people in pre-revolutionary France thought about poor. Okay. What could unite Asmongold, Hassan Piker, Quinn, and all these prominent creators, Mr. Beast? They do like the Hunger Games, but they hunt homeless people or poor people or people they think are beneath them.
Yeah. Just like Johnny Somali did in Japan.
That too, yes.
You know, I mean, hey.
There's two types of streamers out there, guys. And I hate to be the bearer of the bad news. There's people out there that aren't going to help those that need help. There's people like us who hear about a community member that needs help, and we're doing a multi-platform charity event for them. But the difference is, and this is an old saying, it's often the poorest people that give the most. We're not joking, okay? And you know, when you have somebody like this prick up here in the corner, you know, running his veritable sucker, like I yeah, it makes me very upset. Let's continue making fun of him.
Don't pause it. Pause it. I've just
There's
noticed
a
something.
lot to make fun of.
Look at the far left of the screen, folks. Who's that? Who's that on the far left of the screen? Like really far to the
Hasidic
left.
Jew for some reason.
A Jew.
Oh no!
I can't believe I just noticed that. It's like, what are the odds? A guy this Quinn guy is condemning this hobo, and who is right near the hobo? For some reason, a Hasidic Jew. So, dude, because you called this hobo a bad person, and there's a nice Jewish gentleman on stream, because I am Jewish, and a Jewish person on the screen, you are anti-Semitic. Now we're going to ruin your career. For
Sorry,
no apparent
buddy.
reason. I don't make the rules.
Well,
Actually, I do.
Like,
but
I fucking hate hobos.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Like, they
Yeah,
ruin
I would like
the
to-
vibe. You try and just
Like-
go around a town
They
or a
ruined the
city,
vibe.
right? And then there's just some fucking guy sitting in front of the entryway of the store you want to go into.
Really? Really? That's your attitude towards people that are looking for help?
Wow.
And it's like
Obviously,
the
he
vibe's
hasn't
off. I don't
visited
wanna go
other
in that store no
countries.
more. I wanted to go in the store, but now I don't want to go in the store. And
Oh, you'll shop somewhere else because somebody else has decided to ask for help at a store. What the lowest form of human fucking garbage?
You know, this just screams that this guy has never really traveled to other countries
Yeah.
and seen what it's like on the streets of a major city in other countries. Where have you been all this time? I mean, unfortunately, I don't know who this guy is, quite frankly, but for whatever it's like, dude, whoever's following you, people, grow, get a life.
Seems like he's never been to LA.
I don't
either.
understand why these success, and we actually, I say this, and then Digny, like clockwork, says the bad people are successful because they're bad people. So
Yep.
I'm going to shake this up a
No,
little bit.
I don't
I'm going to
believe
be well, streamers, but like, there's a lot of these people that just are Nepo baby, hand me down.
Maybe.
Here's a camera and a microphone and a couple 100,000 to get started. I started
I
on
think they're chosen.
Android phone.
I mean, I almost feel like we should collect these, Tony, and start up a sub channel called Clueless Takes. I mean, seriously, Clueless Takes. Just collect these things.
And the reason I believe that the more prominent the person, the worse they are, is because, I've only been on this earth for 26 years. What do I know about how the world works? But from my experience as a young man approaching middle age, is that the only way you do well on this planet is through, and sorry for using swear words, the only way you do well is to fuck over someone else and step on them as you get to the top of the tree. And it's sad. It's sad that we live in that kind of world. But I find this screenshot to be poetic. Here's this entitled prick condemning a homeless person, and for some reason a Jew is on screen. You can't make this up. You can't. Honestly. I
Is
mean,
this
what's
another
that
one of
woman
those
doing?
only
Is
in
that woman
America,
stealing
Digby?
from the homeless person? Anything is possible.
Okay.
It sounds like, well, I came all this way to go into this convenience store, and there's a hobo lying halfway across the thing, and I'm going to step over the legs of this hobo.
You are scum.
And it's just fucking weird.
You're fucking weird.
Like,
I do know you're fucking weird.
and obviously it's like, it's not like of course, like, we got safety nets
Stutter.
for hobos so they can stay. They've got places they can stay. They've got kitchens they can get food, but yet they in front of the fucking establishment you're
Is your heart racing because you're trying to make a hot take to be fucking edgy?
trying to get into.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt
honestly
you,
would
Tony.
Yes.
But I actually know a content creator within our circles who was homeless at the start of his creative journey, right?
And
I
that
call him
is
Mr.
one of the
Nobody.
best motherfuckers on this fucking platform. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Exactly.
Mr.
Great guy.
Nobody is a great guy.
Great guy. Occasionally goes nuts, but a great guy. He is an example of someone who turned the American nightmare into the foundations for the American dream. I don't know where this is at. I honestly don't know. It could be America, could be Canada, but not every place, even in the Western world, has, welfare provisions for its population. Certainly not internationally. So
Is the self-unawareness of this guy that really stands out to me. And we'll see this as we go through the video in a moment. His phrasing is clear, and then he immediately says in a bit something that completely contradicts that. But what I'm mostly hearing is homeless person lives on street, coddled affluent YouTuber most affected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anything, you should be like getting him a fucking burger or something. Buy them lunch.
That's what my mom did when she lived in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead he's just angry at him for, ruining the vibe.
That person could have probably had more money than you ever did or ever will make. And because he got fucked by some lawyers and some relatives, they have no other choice. You do not know other people's stories. You do not know what's going through other people's lives for you to just say these generalized, privileged fucking statements.
like, I straight up, if there was like a nice city and they just made like being a hobo straight up like illegal.
How can you make something like that illegal? Why would you make something like that illegal?
So arrest the homeless,
I would.
arrest the poor.
Well,
That's the solution.
Well,
Go to LA.
here's the thing. Anything that upsets the stability, the sereneness, which with folks that I'm gonna cast an aspersion, but folks that seemingly are like him, anything that disrupts the sereneness of their life, obviously something that they want the government or someone to remove from their vicinity. They do not want to be bothered by these sorts of things. It troubles them for whatever internalized guilt they're carrying around, and so therefore they have to put these folks down in such a way so that it aggravates other people to act to not have these people around and stuff like that. And I'm not going to talk about a certain place that happened maybe nearly a century ago, but this is how they would speak of people who were travelers. Okay.
Yeah.
I will mention a certain place.
And other sorts of folks. And this is how they would speak about them until the government took action. And we had what we had back in the 30s and 40s of the 20th century. But this was the behavior, the attitude of certain people in that.
Communism is a lie.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. But even before then, which makes me wonder, when we have freedom of speech like this, that we recognize how valuable it is what we have to be able to say what we say. Okay.
Well, it's hard to have homelessness in a communist country when you freeze to death 9 months out of the year. But I think it's very important for people to realize that every problem is the foundation for which solutions can be found. Usually, the solution to a problem is the opposite of a problem, right? It's also the simplest, right? How do you deal with homelessness or houselessness, to use another term, right? Well, what's the opposite of homelessness or houselessness? Homes and houses, right? It's literally a tangible physical solution to a problem that still endures to this day, and we actively know how to solve the problem. Like physically, we know how to. Yeah, it's just no means, no will.
Yeah, but
it's one of the
troubled by that.
Folks don't have the means, or they don't have the will to solve the problem.
Yeah, but these folks won't be troubled by that. They always think that it's something someone else has to do, or that the government should be doing, as long as it doesn't trouble them to do it. Just putting it out there. Okay.
Well, these are the type of people who will ask you, what is a house? Quite frankly, at this stage.
True.
I know LA has this problem big time.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get rid of people because, homeless people and stuff, because it does ruin the aesthetic.
They do legit applaud communist countries because they made homelessness illegal. Yeah. Dumb fuckery abounds. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there. We've got plenty of that sort of stuff.
All right. Well, I honestly am going to get violently ill if I hear any more vitriol from this creature. So
if I might, since I've gotten ahead on this briefly, after talking great length about how much he hates hobos, he then goes on to say he's not hateful.
He's what?
He says he's not hateful. After spinning a diatribe talking about how much he hates hobos, he wants to tell his audience that he's not hateful.
Okay. I think nowadays, Director, we've established that there is a significant percentage of the population that have absolutely no understanding of the definition of words.
I don't think they're meaningfully self-aware.
That's
for my part.
That's part of it.
I have to say, this is the first time I've heard the name of this Quinn, and I would be delighted if it's also the last.
Well, that's also a phenomenon when it comes to content creation and live streaming. You can be an incredibly popular content creator and live streamer, and yet the vast majority of people have no idea you exist. So you could be completely crazy, espouse insane things, but rake in millions of dollars a year and have millions or tens of millions of supporters, and the vast majority of the population have no idea who you are.
Yeah,
Roblox streamers, for example.
that's true. That's true.
There's just that many people on Earth to go around. I mean, to be quite frank, like
Exactly.
a subculture is still, at the very least, a six-figure sum of people.
And whether we like to admit it or not, there is a tiny percentage of the world's population that would love to get rid of all the homeless people because they exist. It's just it's a mathematical inevitability in all things, in that you have the greatest majorities, but you also who believe in sanity, and you also have the greatest minorities, not in the physical sense, but in the ideological sense, that believe the greatest insanities.
It's cowardly, weak, and short-sighted. They want them gone, they want them arrested, just because they make them feel uncomfortable. They don't want to solve the problems as to why, and quite frankly, could not deserve more to be put in those very shoes.
Yeah.
On that note,
Kaylet says, I mean, come on, have you actually thought about what really are words? I recently had a deep conversation about what would the conveniences and the hindrances that the spoken and written language have done to us as far as sentient and sapient beings, with a good friend of mine.
It depends on how they're used and how they're
truly,
interpreted.
I can answer that question. Read 3 dictionaries, one from 1900, one from 1960, and one from 2020, and see how language has changed for the better and for the worse. For example, you will not find certain words in the 2020 dictionary that existed in the 1900s and 1960s, and I'll leave it at that. And vice versa.
Words I suspect we still could need.
Scoops, any other thoughts on this, for lack of a better word, this human piece of shit?
Well, first off, I'd like to say to Captain Finity, if they put all the hobos to work in Disney, I think that Disney's entertainment will become immensely better than how it is right now.
Yes!
Replace them with the homeless, and I think the movies and stuff.
Nothing is more imaginative than a hobo with nothing but spare time and hunger on his mind.
Also, I think that streamer in particular, he's bad-mouthing something that he will most likely become in the future. I can see that guy easily becoming a hobo.
In some countries,
all I can say is you reap what you sow. Karma will happen, and if he's not careful, and I think he will end up receiving some very bad karma.
Well, let's just TLDR this whole thing. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
It's a really low bar to clear.
Marcelo, anything to follow that mic drop before we get to our bit of gaming news that we accidentally skipped?
I'm just going to say leave the mic where it dropped.
There we go. Moving right along. Let's get to our other gaming news article. I think this is a pretty good fit, but we'll see what you guys think. Ryan Hurst cast as Kratos in Prime Video's God of War. I mean, he looks the part. For one, that's pretty good. Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy and The Abandons has been cast as Kratos in Prime Video's God of War from Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM Studios. Based on PlayStation's ancient mythology-themed video game, the series has received a 2-season order with pre-production underway in Vancouver, and casting has begun. From writer, showrunner, and executive producer Ronald D. Moore, who is responsible for Outlander and For All Mankind, God of War follows his father and son, Kratos and Atreus. So it looks like we're starting with the Norse saga as they embark on a journey to spread the ashes of their wife and mother, Faye, Through their adventures, Kratos tries to teach his son to be a better god, while Atreus tries to teach his father how to be a better human. Kratos, the titular character of the entire franchise, is Spartan by birth and a god by nature. Raised in a martial culture, he rose to command armies in the service of his homeland until one day he made a fateful deal with Ares, the Greek god of war, and lost his soul in exchange for being victorious in battle. Over the course of 10 successful games, Kratos vanquished mortals, creatures, and gods alike. In the process, he became an iconic character in pop culture, known for his stoic nature, unchallenged combat skills, and tragic past, and of course, Ares! Vanquish my enemies and my life is yours. Not really stoic, but here we are. In the live action series, Kratos' story will closely follow the path of the last two games as he deals with something new. His 10-year-old son, Atreus. This father-son dynamic and began a whole new chapter in the legendary series and will be the heartbeat of the new show. Hurst's participation in the new TV series heralds his return to the God of War universe, having previously played Thor in PlayStation's God of War Ragnarok. Yes, he was the voice behind Thor, and as somebody who loves Norse spirituality and culture, they got Thor the most right. He is unmatched in battle, but he is also equally so easily manipulated because his strength is a weapon. He is a weapon, and he has to live with the responsibilities of being Odin's attack dog. And for anybody who's played the God of War series, that they really did a good job with Thor. They made him redheaded. They made him a drunk. They made him all of these terrible things because he's got a terrible existence. Thor lives for battle and battle alone. That is when he's the most happy. So it's good to see that they're bringing back somebody that knows the writing for the games intrinsically as a voice actor to be in this role. I think this is a good sell. I think this is a good start, and I hope that they continue with this. God of War is co-produced by Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM Studios in association with PlayStation Productions and Tall Ship Productions, and added to more. Executive producers also include Meryl Davis, Corey Barlow, Naren Shikar, all the producers. Matthew Graham, Assad Quiselbosch, Jeff Ketchum, not to be confused with Ash Ketchum, Herman Hulst, Roy Lee, and Brad Van Aragon, Joe Manoski, Mark Bernardin, Tanya Latia, and Ben Guinness co-executive produce the series. Frederick Io Toya, Shogun The Boys, is signed on to direct the first two episodes of God of War. So many producers, always at the end of it too. But at least the casting is off to a good start. Oh my God, what is with every franchise having literally, so many fucking
I could be
producers.
wrong, but I did see this guy in the Jack Reacher series as well.
Yes. What are your thoughts on this?
I have to say, it could be quite good. I see no reason to be nihilistic. Whatever went on with Amazon and Lord of the Rings, that was all sorts of reeking to hell. But when it comes to other IPs, they've generally treated them with some respect. So this could be quite good. And if now confirm the guy I saw in Jack Reacher, well, he's a walking titan, so he's going to nail the role of Kratos. I'm pretty sure.
I think he's going to do quite well as Kratos as well. Kellett says, how else are they going to bloat these movie budgets to hundreds of millions? That's right, money laundering. It is all exchanging hands under the table for the sake of personal profitability. Well, I mean, that's Hollywood for you. All right, let's go ahead and hear from Digny. What are your thoughts on this? I was stoked for the casting, but also have to show reservation and the producers this production has. What are your thoughts?
Live action adaptations of PlayStation properties rarely end well. Just putting it out there, ladies and gentlemen. Second of all, the more executive producers and the more producers on a project, the more red flags you'll see in a North Korean military parade. Third of all, folks, I want to make this very clear. God of War was needlessly rebooted. in all honesty. Moving away from what made God of War great has not made it greater. Even if it does look more cinematic, and even if it has brought in new generations of gamers and fans, quite frankly, anything that strays away from its origins, sorry to be blunt about this, needs to die, quite frankly. Look, you can take that logic and apply it to a lot of franchises we've discussed in today's show, but in God of War's case, I think it applies the most because it was such a visceral franchise, especially during its first iteration.
Oh yeah,
And
he
that's
ripped things
completely
apart.
gone.
Yeah.
It's completely gone. So that the element we see today, even if it's put over well in the TV show, the streaming show, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, it's still going to be inspired by a property that is quite frankly an inferior version of Kratos and an inferior version of what God of War is all about. So check out the original God of War games, folks. I think you'll enjoy them tremendously well.
They are fun, and they are awesome. Ripping apart the entire Greek pantheon is just a good power trip. And the puzzle solving. The other thing I liked about God of War is the puzzle solving, which the puzzle solving, obviously, that was also, I think, mostly omitted with the Norse sagas. But there were entire dungeons where you had to figure out what to do to progress, not just killing enemies, but figuring out the intricate workings of something that was designed by Archimedes. In the first game, the temple that held Pandora's box was designed by the great engineer Archimedes. And when you get into the inner workings of that temple, it's maddening on your first playthrough. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. What to do? And like it is awesome. Scooby, what are your thoughts on this casting?
Casting wise, it looks good. And then of course, you got the guy for Outlander, which wasn't bad. I mean, it really depends on your point of view, but it wasn't really bad per se. Like most, I am cautiously optimistic about this. The game itself did not need any rebooting. I thought the first game was actually, story-wise, it grabbed your attention. It really did.
When Ares was flattening Athens, literally flattening it, I've never seen that in a game where you're basically trying to escape Athens as it burns, only to come back and realize that there's nothing left but a crater.
When I found out about, because I never played it, but my brother did, so I was constantly watching him. And when I found out about the son and his wife being dead, I was like, oh man, that really gets you. I was like, oh. I mean, it was good writing for the game. It was very good writing. And I hope the show ends up just as well as the game did. Just not the path that they take with the reboot.
Right.
The reboot of Boy.
Boy! Fetch me my axe, boy!
Yes, thank you. You're a guy. You can do it. I'm a girl. I can't.
Well, you have to understand, boy. Being a god is different than being a man. Marcelo, I understand you have about 5 minutes left. So A, give us your take on this, and then B, let us know what you're doing in the future.
Well, I'm going to make it short and sweet. The only saving grace that I could see in this, other than the casting of this particular person, this particular actor, is the fact that this is showrun by Ronald D. Moore. And we know who he is. We know what he's brought to different genres. Okay. Most of them great. Some of them, but most of them great. And we really do hope that Amazon doesn't fuck with what he's trying to do.
Right.
And I'm gonna leave it at that. And in the future, I'm gonna keep roaming around, still getting some things sorted out on my end to launch the Shadows of the Internet. So coming soon is all I can say with regards to that. And thanks for joining us on StarkCast. What is this, Mark 27?
Mark 27.
Mark 27.
There's
Yeah,
27 of these.
Yep, and we'll keep doing these things, folks. So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the streams that we're gonna be having to help out our good friend Casey. We're keeping you in our thoughts and our prayers, Casey.
We have a multi-pronged approach. When Scooby told me that last night, and she's like, "Is there anything you can do to help?" I was like, "Say less."
Yep. So
that guy has literally helped me out of some tight situations.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say thanks to everybody to hanging in there with us, and I'm gonna have to bounce for this stuff, but folks, definitely stay and hang out for the rest of the show, and we'll see you on Mark 28.
Sounds good. Have yourself a great night. Marcelo Lopez, the son of Mars, everybody.
Peace out, everybody.
Cheers and good night as well.
All right, we have one last segment, ladies and gentlemen. One last segment, and that is our fake news segment. So I think we should go ahead and touch a little bit on Starfleet Academy, if only just a little bit. Where are the damn donuts?
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
The fake news segment of the day, ladies and gentlemen. New Starfleet vessel unable to reach warp speed because the crew is too fat. Space, the final frontier. The exploration of other strange new worlds and seeking out of new life and new civilizations has hit an unexpected snag this week, as Starfleet's newest vessel was reportedly unable to reach warp speed because the crew was too fat. According to the sources on board the ship, the USS Athena was unable to embark on its mission to respond to a mysterious energy pulse believed to be emanating from the Gamma Quadrant because, as the vessel engineers later determined, the crew was too fat for the warp drive to be able to compensate. Captain Nala Ake demanded an explanation from one of the ship's helmsmen. "It's just too heavy a load," said Ensign Zyron Vera. "I've been in communication with engineering since the issue arose. Well, I said there was nothing I can do. There's just too much weight on board the vessel to reach warp speed. I'm afraid we're stuck here till some of the tubbies can drop a few, Captain." Shortly after its launch, the Athena was unable to reach even the baseline level of Warp 1, leading to confusion and frustration on the bridge. I was afraid that this would happen, and once I got a look at the Lardos they forced upon me, Captain Eke was heard saying this: the ship's warp drives were reported to be making audible groans under stress. And don't get me started on our medical officer, Dr. Leona Big Bones McCoy, over there. At Publishing Time, Starfleet is said to be addressing the problem by jettisoning all of the vessel's plus-sized crew members into space.
Oh, if only.
Why they got to be calling out that American Starfleet like that? I know. It's absolutely tragic. This is the same Starfleet who has elected to, discuss a little bit of what's happening in their Degrassi High. Unfortunately, since the Athena now is no longer able to be a transformer like Mega Maid and transform into the Academy in the 30th century, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that this is a good thing, and I'm glad that Star Trek Starfleet Academy has been officially canceled.
Yeah, this makes me sad. Clearly, Starfleet is collapsing in on itself. Possibly for the same reason, too many massive gravity wells all close together.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, because one thought that Starfleet was supposed to be an idealized vision in the future where all of humanity's problems have been mostly solved to the point where they're so bored they want to go out and help other people with their problems. In this case, though, clearly they haven't solved the problems at home. Not only have they not solved the problems at home, they're now exporting obesity to the galaxy.
I tell you, that is a sad state of affairs. You know, we've been covering a lot of the adventures of Starfleet here in these last couple episodes, including on how they had discovered yet another planet that looks a lot like the balmy, sunny Southern California of days gone by. And the connection just seems to be coming back around to the logical conclusion that I don't know what to tell you. Starfleet's supposed to be a military. Some of these people are 4F on arrival, physically and mentally. There's a lot of the kids in Starfleet Academy, they have a lot of mental issues that would not gel well for a military, especially one that utilizes space warfare, which, of course, also raises questions like, can they handle things like cabin fever, long trips, capsizing, inevitable death, which is what the Kobayashi Maru is for. Kobayashi Maru, none of these kids from Starfleet Academy can pass the Kobayashi Maru. They can't. They don't have the mental fortitude. They don't have the character. They don't have
Forget
the balls.
military
They
quality.
don't have
They're
the
not.
balls to handle a no-win scenario.
They're not professional.
Guys, they're Maru's morons. You hear me, folks? Right? I mean, the Federation in the 30th century needs a Zempek the way the Dominion need Ketracel White. Okay? I mean, seriously, this is a massive problem, folks. This is what happens when the Federation goes through a golden age, right? In all seriousness, I know this is supposed to be our fake news segment, but when the Federation underwent nearly a century long of peace, it was a bit shorter than that, but it was about 60, 70 years of peace, right? What kicked them? What kicked them in the balls? It was the Borg. Okay, folks? And now, potentially, Starfleet and the Federation have gone through, what, 5 centuries worth of peace, right? This is a golden age level that is leading to mental deficiency. Kobayashi Maru, these are Maru's morons. What the Federation needs is a threat bigger than the Borg. And quite frankly, I think the Federation's greatest threat in the 30th century is itself, because it seems to have taken over everyone else. Have we seen a Cardassian in this project yet? I hope not, because hopefully they're the big bad people.
Now, this was acknowledged on a couple of other shows. Did you notice how there was a member of an extinct race just applauding behind an Orion girl in a Starfleet cadet uniform because they've also been
the black and white
colonized.
people.
Yeah.
That they probably reverse engineered and uplifted. The same way we make, direwolves today, we made their people.
I thought it's like,
sense.
wow, they left
Stupid
Kirk left the last two members of that species to finish
Both male.
their fight. They killed each other.
But hey, man, if Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid females exist in this universe, I bet you everything that Alex Kurtzman has, that the Federation have swallowed up the Dominion and have genetically engineered everyone to be this stupid.
Apparently, a side effect is grotesque obesity.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is causing the ships to ultimately fail. New species, just add water, right? Right?
Maybe
it's
at some point.
That scene in The Simpsons when Bart was imagining how those little dinosaur sponges that grow when you add water would actually turn out, and it, had like a little T-Rex and it turned into a big T-Rex and it ate Lisa. Like they were expecting that, but obviously that didn't happen. In reality.
Maybe at some point, Starfleet had a change of interest. No longer interested in democracy or representation. Their sole interest at that point was, well, basically like America's. Render the populace as fat and stupid as possible so they don't question things too much.
From my point of view, ladies and gentlemen, the binding force of the Federation has always been humanity, right? Without
Yeah.
humanity, there would never have been, in the Star Trek universe, there would never have been a united federation of planets, and most likely the Klingons or the Romulans would have just decimated the entire area until the Borg show up and assimilate everyone, quite frankly.
It's
If you
only
want to look at
because
it,
of our quirky, we're in a corner and can do miracles when we're backed up against the wall kind of. That
let's
is the
face it.
human factor, really. Humans have always been, the weakest species, the technologically least advanced, the new kids on the block, and all of these galactic sci-fi conglomerate stories and stuff like that. Humanity's always supposed to be like bottom rung of what do you know, monkey, But then we have this one factor where if we get backed into a wall, we pull shit out of our ass that we could never do the second time. But that's like part of the human condition. It's a romanticized part of the human condition where we can overcome extreme odds if we just believe hard enough or we're threatened hard enough. I mean, Independence Day is another good example where everybody just figured out and lucked out how to wipe out an otherwise harvesting super, at least a type 1 civilization of an invasion.
I would like to make points in regards to this whole situation. I think the biggest mistake the Star Trek franchise ever made was looking back instead of looking forward. The decision to essentially abandon the continuity from the Next Generation until Voyager and look backwards to Enterprise, right? Completely detached Star Trek from its continuity, and I think and the golden age of Star Trek tried this a few times, especially with the Maquis as a storyline. But I think a great post Voyager Star Trek series would have to wrestle with the fact that the Federation has gone through trials and tribulations over the past few decades against mainly the Borg and the Dominion, and that ultimately the Federation's greatest threat now is itself. Like Star Trek Insurrection mixed with the Maquis storyline, get rid of the bloody Sona because they're just plastic pricks, and have it where ultimately the Federation falls into a civil war between the corrupted element of Starfleet that has been, warped by recent events, and those who believe in the ideals of the Federation that we saw, especially in early TNG, right? Starfleet is not a
22nd,
military
23rd
organization.
century. Yeah.
That sort of mindset.
Yeah.
That's how I would have done it personally.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. Scoops, what are your thoughts on this? And then we do need to go ahead and start wrapping this up because normally these shows go for 2. We're almost on to the 3rd hour, which is good. Thank you guys for staying tuned with us. What are your thoughts, my dear?
They are not fat. They are big boned. Just ask Eric.
Well, my take on Star Trek has always been an exploration show. It's a show that explores what could be. It has the human condition attached to it. That's what made the original series so memorable. That's what made early Next Generation so memorable. Whenever they started veering from that, things started to go to the wayside. And again, this is just, a wackadoo, run-of-the-mill space fantasy show envisioned by a man with ideas for paradise and for a utopian society that could only work in the broadest scope of said fantasy. They're very broad strokes. We often get into arguments about episodes or series, and what's canon, what isn't. Is this Star Trek? I hear this until I'm blue in the face. Is this Star Trek? At the end of the day, you're going to like what you're going to like, and you're going to appreciate what you're going to appreciate, and you're going to dig what you're going to dig. Star Trek has always had its fan base at each other's throats since the very beginning. Go back to Trekkies versus Trekkers. Then whenever Star Wars jumped into the scene, it was Trekkies versus Star Woids. There's this general attraction to arguing over Star Trek, regardless of what generation, what iteration of the show, what's canon, what isn't, what's your favorite series, who's your favorite captain, who would win in a fight. It goes back all the way back to the beginning of this whole ordeal, when we were still getting shoved into lockers for even talking about Star Trek when we were kids.
Yeah,
what it continues to haunt me is the sheer paucity of imagination here. Not only has humanity and now the Jem'Hadar have adopted our problems in the modern age, but humanity has gone back from solving any problems it already had to getting all the old problems back. Take, for instance, again, the glasses here. It is not plausible that with space future technology, they can't correct vision. Geordi LaForge was completely freaking blind. That's why I had a really awesome visor.
And that visor was a freaking Jarvis HUD. Like, It was awesome.
Glasses.
Which is so ironic.
The only way this...
because the actor couldn't see out of it.
And yet, also later on movies, he no longer needed the visor.
Yes.
Because they fixed his sight.
Well,
but we have glasses here, so we have to assume that the member of Starfleet here has aggressively chosen the glasses because they think it makes them look smarter.
Versus, I don't know, something that could probably, as this is supposed to be in the 30th century, that they could probably just, if they could genetically replicate extinct species, they should be able to repair a pair of human eyeballs.
I'll tell you this, folks, you'll never find me on a Star Trek show if that's the case. But I think every Star Trek show, every single one of them has one thing in common, right? They always struggle to start, especially the first two seasons, definitely. With some shows, it takes about 3 seasons. And I think that was permissible in the past. It's not permissible in the present, quite frankly, because people like viewers, they want instant success. If your show does not succeed in the first 2 seasons, it would have been canceled. If Star Trek was a Netflix show, it would have had 2 seasons, canceled, never heard from again. It wouldn't be a 50, 60-year-old franchise, quite frankly. Star Trek as a franchise today, if it was a brand new franchise today, it would have died and barely anyone would have heard of it. Simple as that. No matter what era. TOS, TNG, the J.J. Abrams nonsense, the lot. Because almost every Star Trek show, in fact, I think every Star Trek show, most of their bad seasons are 1 and 2. Let's face it.
Yep.
So on that note, thank you very much for watching.
All right, that's going to go ahead, and we're going to wrap this pony up in a nice, neat bow. Scoob, you got any last thoughts before we go ahead and get to our outros?
No. Other than I still want to travel.
You still want a tribble? Well, we can get you a tribble for sure. All right.
I still want to tribble.
This is going to conclude tonight's episode of the StarkCast. This has been StarkCast Mk27. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart and the heart of my bottom. You guys are fantastic. And we are happy to have you all here again for this episode. And we will definitely be back next week with probably the big elephant in the room, female custodies. We're going to have to rip that one apart. That's not okay.
Like the pictures I sent you.
Thank you for keeping me in the know. Arcater, what have you got coming up, my friend?
Well, tomorrow is the next SCP read. We'll be raffling off a copy of Beholder Conductor, a game I know nothing about, but from the name alone, I might be entering competition for. Otherwise, it's just regular reading of an SCP file. I haven't decided on what yet, but typically there's time for at least 2, so those are requested by viewers after the first. Also, I'm aware that SideQuest is resuming in February, so plenty of time on that yet. Otherwise, the schedule is expected to continue as usual.
Excellent. And we definitely also like to advertise the fact that he goes through what we call the experiment, where he gets on there and he plays clips for his fans. And he also has a motley assembly of other characters, one of which that we will more than likely get to meet next week. So, stay tuned for that. Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, what you got coming down the pipeline, my friend? Always something, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Tomorrow we're going to have a network assemble show at 8 p.m. UK, which is 3 p.m. Eastern, where all the network hosts get together. I'll be hosting it this time around because, let's face it, you know, if you're coordinating everything, you've got to coordinate it to yourself. So, as for other network shows, well, we have a network show a day now. I've divided it equally between YouTube and Rumble, so you can have different tastes on your palate. So thank you very much for having me, Tony. It was another great show. I'm only 5 subscribers away from 330, so any support is appreciated.
We got a quick question. Speaking of support, they want to draw you. You want to have some fan art made of you?
By all means. I mean, this avatar was made for me by a Muslim. Fun fact.
That is awesome.
So go right ahead. The more the merrier.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Scooby!
Yes.
You are leading the charge to help Casey Azowski as we begin a 2-week affair between everybody in this community, and I'm going to make sure that everybody gets on board with this. Why don't you start your plugs with that?
Okay, so sometime next week, I first have to get a hold of the real Tom B. So sometime next week, I will be doing a gaming stream for a game stream fundraiser for our dear friend Casey Azowski. It'll be a long one, so I will try, I'll try, for that one, just to do either a new game from beginning to end, or I hate to say this, and Tony is very aware of this. Oh, shut the fuck up.
I will.
Maybe I'll go back to Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
And maybe when she does, I'll be there to tease her like she does me when I paint.
But don't expect me to ever finish that fucking game.
Oh, you're finishing it, especially.
No, I am not finishing that game, but I will stream it for a while.
Rage. You'll be so mad.
I will if the stream if they want me to, I will pull it up. But first, I'm going to stream a game that makes me happy, and then I will move on to that fucking game, or maybe to another one. We'll see. But next week, I will be doing a game stream in honor of Casey. Links will be put up for his donation. It'll be a give, send, go, so you guys will be able to send all your donations over there. Next Saturday, also 5 p.m. Eastern, another Scooby Pups podcast. So be sure to pop on over to that. Scooby Pups Rough Views, gonna have another one coming out with Love It Ever After. What's it gonna be about? Why would I tell you? Just watch it.
It's Love It, so something pretty spicy.
Yes. So why would I tell you when you can watch it on your own? And also, every day this week, Tony, every day this week, I will be putting out new shorts involving my first half of Wu Chang following.
Yeah, back when it was still a game and it still had a storyline. Yeah.
No, by the time I played it, the storyline was gone, and it ceased to be a game. But when it was released, it was no longer a game. But yeah, that's what's going on for me.
Yep. All right, and what have I got coming out? I'll tell you what I got coming out. A lot of stuff. Tomorrow, there will be a reckoning as, let's just say, we will have a Ginger Files somewhere. So be sure to check that out. But also, I will be on Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture right after Dig Me. I already got a full schedule for tomorrow, starting with Dig Me, as I am one of these things called network hosts. Might need to attend that. And then, of course, Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture at the 7:30 mark, I do believe, followed with something that we have planned for 9 o'clock with the illustrious and always so amazing and super talented Ginger Wolf.
Johnny,
Yes.
I think you might want to add that Ginger Wolf is 18 up.
Yes. But nobody is going to see Ginger Wolf besides the people that are meant to see Ginger Wolf. We're going to put that out there for them. Scooby, the whole point was to be smooth about it. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
So,
She's
Am I
awesome.
went to see them?
I will send you more information in the post show. With that, though, we got Skeletor is going to be doing our first of 2 vertical subathon streams. He will be hosting sometime alongside a bonus Unreal Tournament stream that I'll be playing hopefully between Monday and Tuesday, followed with Megatron doing another subathon. We treated the Rick and Morty fans last week, and we picked up about 150 some odd subscribers. We're going to try and double that during those subathon vertical streams, especially with Skeletor. I think Skeletor is going to bring in a lot because everybody on YouTube loves Skeletor, and I think it is going to be one for the ages. Also, we're going to have the episode of Stark's Thursday Matinee at its normal running time, alongside me playing some Doom while Scooby gets to go ahead and give me a reason to make fun of her when she plays Wu Chang later on this week.
Fuck you.
You get to take out all your rage first. You should feel privileged. You should feel honored. You should feel blessed for that. But just know that the buck will always stop with me. That's right. This channel is going to continue to grow. It is going to continue to be awesome. And there is a lot of stuff that we're going to be bringing into the pipeline for everybody. So with that, thank you all again for tuning in to tonight's episode of the StarkCast. I want to thank everybody again for having such a good time with us. And with that, I suppose we'll go ahead and we'll give a big round of thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us. We got Angel Dust, Steph, Kaylet. It's a pleasure. New shorts, you should keep those on. Absolutely. Jacob the Red Wolf, Digny, we got there's the Captain Infinity. Good to see you. Vox Tech, Sig Vollison, Shrubby, everybody having a good time. Thank you all again for hanging out with us to the very end of it. The Kylos Fish as well. With that, thank you all again. Bye, everyone. Many blessings to Casey. Oh, believe us, we're going to do our best to make sure that he can at least sleep a little bit better at night. Our thoughts and our prayers are with the great Casey Azowski. Until next time, thank you all again from the bottom of my heart. You guys make this possible. We'll see you on the flip.